team was, and he said, my own team, Cincinnati, I never thought we'd be this bad. What are you going to do about it? He says we're going to get some physical and mental toughness on this club next year.
And that's exactly what he did. He hired Forrest Gregg, who has a reputation of being an outstanding disciplinarian, got him from Canada, and I think he's going to do an excellent job. And this is what he said before the game about his philosophy.
The one big thing that we wanted in this football team is we wanted effort. And I think that that's one thing that you can ask from every football player. There are other things that they may not be able to do because of lack of talent or what have you. But the one thing they can give is effort.
Tampa Bay had the effort last year, especially on defense, and their leader is the #1 defensive player in the league, Leroy Selman.
Well, I think the thing that we need to do to get to the Super Bowl in 1980 is improve overall defensively in every phase of the game, both running and passing, and I think we got the people and the attitude to do just that.
Some of the keys in this game. Quarterback Doug Williams still developing at quarterback for Tampa Bay.
Yes, and he's an outstanding quarterback. He has all the credentials that you seek in a young quarterback, and I think he'll turn out to be one of the great quarterbacks in the National Football League as time goes on.
And Ricky Bell blossomed last year into one of the better running backs.
Yes, and he'll be handicapped somewhat today, Curt, I think, because he'll have to play fullback most of the time. He likes to occupy the tailback position in the I formation. Because of Johnny Davis's injury, he'll probably have to play fullback most of the time.
Over on the Cincinnati side, in place of Kenny Anderson, they start a young quarterback, the throwing Samoan Jackie Thompson.
So you're always going to miss your #1 quarterback in a game like this one, but they're lucky to have Jack Thompson because he can do it all.
All right, let's sum it up, Hank.
I think Tampa, without a doubt, is going to be an outstanding team in 1980, and I picked them to win the division, and that's also to get to the Super Bowl. I think that Cincinnati could be the surprise team of the 1980 season.
Well, that's crisp and right on the button. Hank Stram, Cincinnati Bengals won their first toss of the season, and they have elected to receive. And kicking off for Tampa Bay will be Eon Sunter, or Yepremian's going to be kicking off. Garo Yepremian. He's been with 4 clubs, and he's already Mr. Popular in the Tampa Bay area, as he was in Miami and in New Orleans.
He wasn't very popular in Kansas City.
No. Here's the kickoff, and it is coming to Deacon Turner. Turner coming out to the 10, to the 20. Trying to turn, fumbles the ball. Tampa Bay has it. Tampa Bay recovers on the first play of the 1980 season, a fumble on the kickoff, and Tampa Bay grabs it. They forced the most fumbles in the National Football League last year with their hard-hitting defense, and that was Larry Mucker on the ball, number 87, a reserve receiver who plays on the specialty team. So Tampa Bay now on the Cincinnati 26 with a first down, and they'll have it quarterback. Doug Williams, he'll be number 12. The running backs will be Jerry Eckwood, 43, and Ricky Bell, number 42. Lining up in a slot right formation, they put Higgins in motion. Now here's the pitch. Ricky Bell over the 25, and dropped at the 24-yard line by Eddie Edwards, the left end, and Glenn Cameron, the running back. The receivers for Tampa Bay. Isaac Higgins is number 81. The other receiver, a much improved Gordon Jones, 84. The tight end, already a great one, Jimmy Giles, number 88. And the interior line will be Revis at left tackle. Sanders at left guard, moved from defense to offense this year. Wilson, 50 at center. Roberts at right guard. Charlie Hanna at right tackle.
I wonder how long it'll be before they work on the young corner safety man, Greg Bright, number 47, a rookie.
That's Eckwood. Eckwood tipped up just as he started to go somewhere. He fumbled the ball, and Tampa Bay tossed the ball up. Cincinnati appears to have recovered it, but let's wait. He might have hit the ground before the fumble, which would have made the ball dead.
Here we see Eckwood running to his left from the I formation. He's got the ball in the right arm again, running to his left. As he falls, the ball pops out of his arm, and
that's a dead ball.
Dead ball. Tampa still has possession.
As soon as that body hits the ground, the whistle blows, the ball is dead, then the fumble came.
You know, so typical, you get tired of hearing me talk about it, but it's so typical of the things that can happen to you when you fundamentally are not sound, when you carry the ball in the wrong arm. Running to the left, you should have it in the left arm because it eliminates the possibility of a fumble.
Crowd booing, but the officials were right. Williams is asking the crowd to quiet down. Fred Wyant's the referee. The umpire's Tom Hensley. The headlinesman Ed Marion. Now, wait a minute. Have they changed?
They evidently
have. The
yeah.
line judge, Wilson Gossier. The back judge is Don Wedge. The side judge is Vince Jacob. Field judge is Brent Swearingen. They've reversed the decision and give Cincinnati the ball on the Cincinnati 25. Now, how to reverse that, we're going to try and find out for you.
Yeah, that's a real surprise because he definitely hit the turf, and evidently, normally, that should be a dead ball.
Each club has had a turnover here in the early going. There's no score. Cincinnati's ball on their own 25-yard line. Jack Thompson, the youngster, second year out of Washington State, where he broke many NCAA passing records. Will be the quarterback. Ken Anderson hurt his left knee in preseason. That's Alexander of LSU. Alexander over the 30, out to the 31. He was their #1 draft pick last year. He was running rather tentative. This year he's running with some authority.
You know what happened really on that play, they like Alexander very much on the outside. Pete Johnson has been injured somewhat, and it gave Alexander an opportunity to play that position, and he's taken advantage of it and has done very well in preseason.
It's second down, 3. The Bengals on their 32-yard line. No score early in the first period. Out of the eye. Thompson, the handoff to Archie Griffin. He picks up a couple, and that's all. He's hit there by the nose tackle of Tampa Bay, Randy Crowder. Thompson, the quarterback. Archie Griffin and Charles Alexander are the running backs. Don Bass, wide receiver, 84. Isaac Curtis, wide receiver, 85. And Dan Ross is the tight end, 89. Now Alexander's out, and Burley Pete Johnson goes in at fullback.
And Pete Johnson is like putting in an extra guard or a tackle at the fullback position. He weighs about 249 pounds. And really is very hard to stop, especially on short yardage situations.
Third down and a yard to go. It goes to Griffin. He has the first down as he spins out to the 39-yard line of Cincinnati. Archie Griffin, a 2-time Heisman winner at Ohio State. Randy Crowder dropped him.
They crossed up the Tampa team that time because I think everybody thought that Johnson would probably get the ball on something up the middle, but they used him that time as a blocker for Archie Griffin. Did a good job on the play, and they succeeded making the necessary yardage for the first down.
All right, the defense, a 3-man front. Kohler left end. Crowder is the nose tackle. Selman is the right end. We'll give it to linebackers in a minute. Griffin peeling out. Thompson's first pass of the game. Not much on that. Isaac Curtis, wide receiver, a little hitch pattern, and he was stopped immediately at the 40-yard line by Mark Cotney, the safety. David Lewis is the outside linebacker for Tampa Bay, 57. Wood, 54. Dewey Selman, 58 inside. Johnson, the right outside linebacker, number 56.
You know, one thing that's very important when you play Tampa, you have to be very patient. A lot of teams throw a lot of screens and a lot of draws and run outside a lot, but they see so much of that they respond terrifically well to that kind of an offense.
Second down, 9. Cincinnati under 40. No score early in the first period. There's a draw play. It's Alexander. He's in trouble. He was stumbling. He never got an acceleration from the handoff, and he's tackled for a loss by the right outside linebacker, Cecil Johnson. The cornerbacks for Tampa Bay. Curtis Jordan is number 25 left. Mike Washington has a bad back. 40 is the right cornerback. Cotney, 33. Brown, 34, the safety man.
It'll be interesting to see what Anthony Munoz, number 78, the fine offensive tackle from Southern California, how he'll do against Leroy Selman in this game today.
3 wide receivers in now. Third down, 8. Bengals on their 39-yard line. Thompson on a deep drop. He's rushed momentarily. The pass is nearly intercepted. It was intended for Steve Kreider of Lehigh, and it was nearly picked off by the left corner, by the safety man, Cedric Brown. And now Cincinnati must punt the ball away. Here's a score. Bradshaw just passed 29 yards to Thornton. Pittsburgh leads Houston 7-0 in the first 2 minutes of the first period.
David Lewis blitzed on that last play, number 57. It was a rollout play. It made him stay in the pocket, throw the ball prematurely, and that's why it was unsuccessful.
Reese is the safety man. McAnally will be punting. One of the better punters in the National Football League. Big soaring kick. Reese back to the 9-yard line at Tampa Bay. Comes up to the 15 and plows forward and gets to the 20-yard line, maybe nudging over the 20. Going downfield. The cover, Cincinnati Bengals. Well, we'll be back here in the first period. There is no score. Duke, are you putting up any visuals? We don't see any up here. You're not. Nothing. Oh, I see two teams on the field, but we never see any visuals. Yeah, we don't see any visuals up here. Thank you. Tampa Bay on its 21-yard line with a first down. We have 10 minutes to play.
If they run, let's see if they run this way.
Isaac Higgins was in motion. They do. Eckwood has a slide hole. He goes to the 25-yard line. Eckwood had a big start last year. A couple of 100-yard games early, then broke his wrist in his 5th game and tailed off after that.
But he's an excellent back, and he's going to make some things happen. He has fine speed, and is catching the ball much better, and they like him very much for that reason.
Second down, 6. Tampa Bay on his 25-yard line. Doug Williams, 3rd year, Grambling College. Led the league last year in average yards per completion. Oh, what a charge that time. That's number 55 blitzing. Jim LeClaire, the inside linebacker, who racked up Jerry Eckwood for a loss.
You know, they ran outside pretty well against them in preseason, and in this game they definitely wanted to get a better force from their safety, the corner, and also the linebacker. That time they got it from Jim LeClaire, number 55, who really got good penetration and did an excellent job.
3rd down, 9. Tampa Bay on his 22-yard line. Bucks weren't very good in preseason on 3rd down efficiency, about 26%. Around 35% is average, converting 3rd down plays into 1st down. Williams on a deep drop, powerful throwing arm. He fires it out, and it's nearly grabbed off by defenseman Ken Riley. Riley nearly picked it off. This is his 12th year in the league, and the Bengal defense gets a hand now as they come to the sideline.
He goes back into the pocket and tries to hit Jimmy Giles on the outside. But Riley does a fantastic job of getting anticipation, having anticipation on the play, and makes the receiver drop the football. Didn't really have much of a chance.
Joe Heath is going to be the safety man. And in punt formation is Tom Blanchard. He averaged just under 40 yards a boot last year. 8:34 to go in this period, no score. A driving spiral. Heath waits for it on his 41. Shakes away, gets to the 45, and is down on the 46. That's getting 5 yards the tough way. But Cincinnati will take over on its 46-yard line when we resume play here at Riverfront Stadium with no score. Thompson's talking to Greg. No, we've never seen a visual up here. No visual. visuals on any monitor. All right, watch your sidelines now. Watch you check your lineups. I don't know what it is. We can't.
This would be a good time to throw on first down, Curt. They've got good field position. They've been trying to run the football, haven't succeeded in doing very much with it. Let's see if they do something on 1st and 10.
All right, first down. The Bengals on their 46-yard line. It's a hot day, no wind. Thompson is going to throw on first down. Shoots it out, and it's broken up. A nice save over there by Curtis Jordan, number 25. The pass intended for Isaac Curtis. Jordan, a fifth-year player of Texas Tech, one of the graybeards on the team. There's Atlanta leading Minnesota in the first period, 6-0. Second down, 10 now. Jack Thompson at Washington State. 3 seasons threw for over 2,000 yards. An American Samoan. He held many, many Pacific Coast and NCAA records. The #1 draft pick of the Bengals last year.
You know, one thing that Cincinnati is going to have to do early in the game is throw the ball deep on top to stretch that zone a little bit so they can throw in front.
Up they go. That's Alexander. He was rammed hard at the 45, but he had a quick breaker. Charles Alexander, the all-time career rushing leader at LSU. Mark Cotney, number 33, met him. These two safety men of Tampa Bay are hitters, Cotney and Brown.
Yeah, they really punish you. They come up tough. They use their shoulder pads, and when you make a little yardage on them, you really earn it because you have to pay the price.
It is third down, a yard to go for the Bengals. First time in Tampa Bay territory. They have a double tight end offense. M.L. Harris and Dan Ross are the 2 tight ends. Griffin and Alexander the running back.
Some quarterback sneak.
That's Thompson, who is 217 pounds. Fairly nimble. And let's see if his surge forward gave Cincinnati the first down.
You know, basically the rule of thumb, Curt, if it's less than a yard, you go with a quarterback sneak, but if it's a yard or more, you go with a big thrust of the offensive line and, of course, the big running back. It looked like they had at least a yard to go that time for the first down.
Now, they're still short, Henry.
Yes, they are.
Fourth down and a foot to go. Maybe. Let's see what it appears on the sideline. Now they'll stretch that chain out. And they're short. And now Forrest Gregg has his first critical decision as the head coach of Cincinnati. Looks like he's going to punt. Cardinals, Wayne Morris just scored in a 5-yard run. The Cardinals lead the Giants first period 7-0. 10 minutes to play. McAnally in punt formation. No safety man back for Tampa Bay.
They might have some kind of a play from punt formation to run the ball on this situation, but everybody is up, and Tampa is looking for that kind of a play.
He's going to kick it. Hangs it up. Short. They may get something out of this one. And it's going to be, they let it skip by. It skipped by the Cincinnati man who had his back to the goalpost. That's Mike Lebenseller, number 88. He couldn't slap it back in and hold it in the field of play. So, a timeout again and a score, 0-0. telecast presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Bengals and the National Football League is prohibited. Tampa Bay's ball, first down, their own 20-yard line. Eckwood trying to get wide and dumped for a loss. And coming through is a right linebacker, Reggie Williams, out of Dartmouth, number 57. And they've been quick on defense so far.
Yes, but what they're doing, the linebacker is forcing. They did a good job, as I mentioned earlier, in preseason with this kind of a play. And they didn't get good penetration. That time, Reggie Williams blitzed on the play. 57 was a good force man. And for that reason, they were not able to succeed in making any gain on the play.
Rick Burns has come in now. Check that, they get a wide receiver in. Kevin House, the rookie. Williams gives off to Ricky Bell. He's ganged up at the 15-yard line. Ricky Bell, who had 1,263 yards rushing last year, sixth best. But the Cincinnati defense so far checked the Tampa offense. Mellentree, number 59, outside linebacker, and Cameron, number 50, inside linebacker, made the stop.
Curt, I'm going to tell you something. They're going to miss Johnny Davis this afternoon because Johnny Davis is such an excellent blocker. He's like playing with a third guard or a third tackle, and without him in there, they don't have the extra blocking punch that you really need to run the ball, especially up the middle.
All right, to put in a rookie, Brian Hicks is the fifth secondary back. 3rd and 15 for Tampa Bay from their 15. Williams shoots it short, completes it to the 20, and they don't get a first down out of it. That was Gordon Jones of Pittsburgh who caught the ball, but only a 5-yard gain. Lewis Breeden, the left cornerback, hit him.
Doug Jones goes back into the pocket. No play action. No, it just goes back into the pocket. And Gordon Jones is coming across the middle from the left side. They evidently were hoping that he'd get some running room and would be able to shake loose and make the extra yardage for the first down. He had no chance whatsoever, and now they have to kick.
Joe Heath will be the safety man, a rookie from Pittsburgh. He carried the ball only 13 times from scrimmage in his career at Pittsburgh. He's always been a specialist. Tom Blanchard to do the punting. A low kick might get a return out of this one. He takes it on the 44, 45, 50, and into Tampa territory to the Tampa 46-yard line. Cincinnati has excellent field position when they put the ball in play. We'll be back here at Riverfront Stadium with a score 0-0. How many commercials you doing a period? Okay, good. All right, gentlemen. Can you get a shot, the Duke of Forrest Gregg? You have any? You don't have a sideline. Yeah, come in. He's got his back to you down there. Hello, truck. Forrest Gregg, one of 3 new head coaches this year. Mike McCormick of Baltimore, Jim Hanifan of St. Louis.
The last time they were in this situation, they threw the ball on first down. Let's see if they do it again. No, they go outside.
Alexander on the sweep. Charles Alexander. Not much, maybe 2 or 3 yards. Trying to go outside. Curtis Jordan made the hit on him, bring him down. The ball will be spotted on the 42-yard line. The 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 for Cincinnati.
You know, Curt, the teams are so used to people throwing short and in front and between the backs and in the seams that somewhere when you have good field position, it's very good to throw the ball upfield deep to stretch that zone again as much as possible because they're so concerned about short stuff that they are fooled sometime when you do throw deep, even though they're not supposed to be beaten deeply on a zone pattern.
Alexander again rolls over the 40 to the 39-yard line of Tampa Bay. 3-yard gain, 3rd and 3. Randy Crowder, the nose tackle, stopped him there. Last year, Alexander, much was expected out of him, but he seemed to be hesitant in hitting the holes. Maybe it was a system his first year in awe of the National Football League. This year, they say he's been running with abandon. He has the size, 225. He has the speed. He could be a good one for him.
Well, learning a system sometimes makes you very tentative sometimes, and that's probably what happened last year.
3rd down 3 for the Bengals. Griffin and Alexander are the setbacks. Here's a rollout. Thompson throws on the run, completes it to McAnally. Or to the tight end, Ross. Ross goes to the 20. A beautifully executed play. They had to come up on him. They thought Thompson might roll for the 1st down. And then he threw to his tight end, Dan Ross.
Yes, he got around the outside, and they did a good job of faking the run. The defense pursued the pulling lineman. Ross was wide open coming across the middle, and is finally tackled there by Curtis Jordan. A nice play by Cincinnati.
M.L. Harris comes in at tight end now, 83. They're in a slot left. Bass. Curtis set to the left. 1st down. Bengals have outplayed Tampa Bay in the 1st period. Curtis in motion. Straight ahead. Alexander is racked up at the 18-yard line. When that Tampa Bay defense hits you, you don't go forward much after that. You're usually stopped and thrust backwards.
Yeah, anything that you get from the Tampa Bay defense, you really earn, and you have to exercise. One of the most important things when you play against a 3-4, I don't care who it is, and especially Tampa, is that you have to exercise good patience. You have to be very careful what you do, be satisfied just to move the chains, and not to try to do anything too flamboyant until you get the opportunity.
It is 2nd down 8. Bengals on the Tampa Bay 18-yard line. No score. 1:45 to go in the 1st period. Trying to hit inside again, that handoff. Going to Charles Alexander. Not much yardage there for him. He might have, he's on the 17. A yard gain. 3rd down 7. And M.L. Harris, the tight end, brings the play in. The coach, Forrest Gregg, does not believe in the old messenger guards he played under. He wants to alternate his players, wants to keep the offensive line on the field, wants to keep them there as a unit.
It goes back to philosophy. Whatever you think is best for your team, that's what you do.
3rd down 7. Cincinnati on the Tampa Bay 17. The pass is out and it's just tipped away. Nice play by Curtis Jordan, who's been excellent so far at left cornerback. 4th and 7, and the field goal unit now is coming on.
Again, very good anticipation by Curtis Jordan, number 25, the left cornerback. They tried to throw a sideline pattern on him, but he got a good jump on the ball, played it perfectly, and knocked it down. And now they're going to probably try a field goal.
And a stranger to you, Ian Sunter. Kicked for Toronto last year, tried out with 4 NFL teams this year, came over here. He was with Forrest Gregg in Toronto. He's a native of Scotland. This will be a 35-yard field goal attempt. It is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Cincinnati scores the first point of its and Tampa Bay's 1980 NFL season. The field goal came with 56 seconds to play in the 1st period. And the score is Cincinnati 3 and Tampa Bay nothing.
You know, one thing that's a problem with Tampa so far in the game, they've had 3 possessions. They've been in the soup on all 3 occasions. They started the first drive on the plus 26, and they fumbled. But the next 2 times they had it on their own 20, and they haven't had much of an opportunity to move the football.
Well, that was a drive of 29 yards and 6 plays, stalled, and then the field goal. Isaac Higgins, number 81, back on the 5-yard line. And he is joined there by number 46, Danny Reese, and Rick Burns.
You can tell it's a league game. They're very conservative.
That's right.
They're very cautious, very careful. They don't want to make a mistake, and especially down at their own part of the field.
There's the kick. Taken on the 8-yard line. Higgins spilled at the 25, and the ball will be spotted probably at the 26. Rick Rosano A little guy, but a mover and a hitter under Greg at Toronto in the Canadian League last year. Went downfield to make the tackle. That's the story of the drive.
You know, the three-point deficit on the part of Tampa might shake them up a little bit and make them a little bit more aggressive offensively, especially once they move out of that danger area. They really haven't had good field position at all except on the one occasion, and then they fumbled.
Well, they've gained only 5 yards in the first period, Hank. Tampa Bay on its 25, first down. Bell and Eckwood. Williams will throw on first down. The ball is deflected, caught by Ricky Bell at the 20, 25, and is hammered out of bounds. Eddie Edwards pushed him out the left end. Cincinnati's playing a 3-4 defense this year. The three men who grumbled about it, Edwards, Whitley, and Browner, are the three front men, and they're playing.
Yes, they did a little squeaking about it early, but they're all playing and all doing a good job, and Ross Browner that time deflected that pass and almost got a big enough piece of it to make the interception.
They were a four-man front in previous years, and Greg put them in a three-man front with the four linebackers. Second down 7. Tampa Bay at his 28. Cannot get unraveled on offense so far. Williams, handoff, and up the middle they try it. Jerry Eckwood, the second-year man from Arkansas. He had 121 yards in his opening game last year. You'll have to go some to do it the way the Cincinnati defense is playing today. Wilson, Whitley, and Glenn Cameron teamed up for the tackle. Put it on the 30-yard line of Tampa Bay. They have a 3rd and 5. We're in the last 15 seconds of the first period. Gordon Jones is going out. 5 defensive backs in. Kevin House is in. And there's the gun ending the first period here at Riverfront Stadium. Our score, the Cincinnati Bengals 3, the Tampa Bay Bucks 0.
They're very tight.
Yeah.
Of course, they haven't had any good field position. Let me say something about I want to say I can't understand why when teams put in 5 backs, why teams don't call 2 plays offensively. So if they don't succeed, they make the 5 backs stay in. In other words, if the second...
Right, the next third down situation, let's do that.
Well,
Do it
right now, 3rd and 6.
Yeah, all right, do it now.
But I don't know why they don't do it on second down. So you call second down
Let's
6.
say that.
Yeah, I will.
Good. All
I
right.
want to tell you though.
All right.
Second and 6, why they don't call 2 plays so they can line up on the line of scrimmage before they can get the 5th back in.
I got you. Yeah, we'll start getting on some of that.
Yeah, there hasn't been much happening. It's been kind of a standstill.
Tampa Bay, 3rd down, 5 to go as we open the second quarter. Curt, Gowdy, and Hank Stram. He hits his man. A great catch by Isaac Higgins. That's a first down for Tampa Bay. Jim LeClaire tackled the wide receiver Higgins in the secondary.
It was nothing but a simple pocket pass, and Higgins really makes a fine catch on the inside over the middle. It's a little bit behind him, but he catches it in his hands, maintains possession, and Tampa finally has some good field position.
That's their first down, John McKay.
And I'm sure they'll open up now and do some work and throw the ball more on first down and mix up that defense.
There's the pitch to Eckwood. Eckwood trying to shake loose. They spun around behind the line of scrimmage. He didn't have any blocking out in front. We have a penalty flag down. Here's a score. Pittsburgh leading Houston now 14-0 in the first period. Franco Harris just scored on a 1-yard run. New England 3, Cleveland nothing in the first period on a John Smith field goal.
You know, the way the linebacker is coming up the field, Curt, and trying to stop the sweep, they ought to try to run off tackle. They should have good success running off tackle instead of trying to get outside where the linebacker is coming up the field.
They played the first period without a penalty. Each club had one turnover, 2 fumbles early in the game, one on the opening kickoff. And let's see what this one's about now. This is going against Tampa Bay. It'll put the ball back on the 40. Let's listen.
Illegal use of the hands, number 88, Tampa Bay.
That's on Jimmy Giles, a tight end. Illegal use of the hands.
You know, one thing, Curt, as we go along here, I haven't seen teams do this, and I can't understand why they don't. On 2nd and long, when they know the team is going to put in 5 backs on 3rd down, why they don't call 2 plays. And if they don't succeed in making the yardage on 2nd down, at least the team can't put the 5th back in because they run it on a quick count without a huddle, and they'd be much more efficient, I think.
That's Ricky Bell rolling out and about getting the 10 yards back again. That looked like the Ricky Bell of last year. He was brought down by Dick Duran, the safety man, and Glenn Cameron, the linebacker. That time the Bengals went to 4 men with a 1st and 20. They were trying to get a 4-man rush, put some pressure in case of a pass. Spot the ball on the 49 of Tampa Bay, make it 2nd down, 10. Cincinnati in the lead early in the second quarter, 3-0. White, Edwards, Whitley, and Browner now. 4-man front. They've gone away from the 3-man. Eckwood throws a pass over the head of Giles, a tight end. A halfback option play. And Jerry Eckwood threw that ball about 5 yards over that man's head. 88, Jimmy Giles.
Yes, it is a good play because the force has been so severe on their outside running that this will make them a little bit more conscious of the fact that they will get somebody behind them if they're not careful, and it'll slow down that pursuit and also the charge of the linebackers and the defensive back. Even if it doesn't succeed, it's a good play.
Giants and Cardinals tied 7-all. Gray took a pass from Sims for a touchdown. First period. 3-man front again. 3rd down, 10. Tampa Bay on their 49-yard line. Deep drop by Doug Williams. Flares it out to Ricky Bell at the 45. Bell has the first down on great effort. They nearly brought him down, but he broke a tackle and scrambled forward, and another flag is down. They dropped the penalty flag and back of the line of scrimmage.
This is one thing that Doug Williams has done very much better this year. To look downfield and then throw the ball to the backs in the flat. Holding penalty, that's tough.
This will wipe out the first down of Tampa Bay. The penalty goes against the Buccaneers. That would have been their second penetration into Cincinnati territory. They recovered the opening kickoff fumble. Let's listen here.
Illegal use of the hands, number 75, Tampa Bay.
That's on Dave Revis, the left tackle. That puts the ball back on their 39-yard line and gives them a 3rd and 20.
Cincinnati is really doing an excellent job defensively. Both teams are playing very well defensively.
A hot day. We'll see what happens in the second half. Mike White, Edwards, Whitley, and Browner, a 4-man front. 3rd and 20 for Tampa Bay. Williams under the gun. Out to Ricky Bell. Bell shakes away at the 40. Still going to his 45. And down on his 46-yard line by Ross Browner, a right end who chased him across the field.
That's a very high percentage play, as you can see. They throw the ball out to Ricky Bell with a hope and expectation that he might get a one-on-one on a linebacker or a defensive back and be able to run for the necessary yardage for the first down without taking any kind of a severe risk. The ball was thrown a little bit too high. He had to settle down, get squatted, try to right himself. Had no chance really to make the yardage for the first down.
Punt formation. Tom Blanchard, Oregon, will kick. JoJo Heath, ex of Pittsburgh, is the receiver. Kicks away, a beauty. And that ball will be into the end zone for the touchback. Cincinnati's ball, first down. I think the surprise of this game has been Cincinnati's defense. Worst in the NFL last year. We have a flag. Last year, they gave up the most points of any team in the National Football League. And they have been very tough here in the early part of their opening game against Tampa Bay. what happens, or they may decline the penalty. They're going to penalize them 15 yards from the 20-yard line.
Personal foul, number 52, Tampa Bay.
That's a personal foul on Scott Brantley, the rookie from Florida. All right, we'll be back here in Cincinnati. 3-0, the Bengals in the lead. Foul marked off after change of possession, huh? Foul marked off after change of possession.
Yeah. Oh, they're all just generally, they're all responding well.
Brent Free's playing well.
Yeah, they're pursuing, reacting
Browner's
very well.
playing excellent. They're hustling.
And of course, you know, they're really playing like gangbusters, and the linebackers are doing a good
Let's
job.
get on Munoz a little bit, can we?
Well, the other thing is, watch the outside linebackers on Cincinnati when they on defense again, because they've done a real good job. Bo Harris, the left linebacker, and Williams, they've really taken away the sweep, and that's the best play that Tampa likes to run.
Let's get on 78.
Yeah, now with Munoz, Leroy Selman.
Probably the most interesting matchup in this game is the rookie Anthony Munoz out of USC, 280-pounder, #1 draft pick, #1 everything, the Bengals say, going against the best defensive player in the NFL, Leroy Selman. 78 on Cincinnati left tackle. Selman is the right end. First down, Cincinnati on their 35. Jack Thompson throws deep, and it is broken up. Pass intended for Steve Kreider, number 86 out of Lehigh. And backpedaling on the play was Curtis Jordan. He's been excellent today at left cornerback.
They ran from a double wing formation that time, and I was surprised that they would try to get deep that way because, you know, you advertise pass from that formation. I thought if they were going to try to throw deep, they might try to throw deep from a play-action pass. You have more of an opportunity to get the big play from play-action than you do from a pocket pass on 1st and 10.
Second down 10. The Bengals on their 35. They're ahead, 3-0. 12:24 to play in the first half. Strong right with a tight end right. Archie Griffin being chased. He's not getting much. His hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. David Lewis had backpedaled with him to cover. 4th and 11, the Bengals under 34. Pictures back. Thank you for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Pat McInally will punt. Danny Reese is the safety man. Had only one fair catch last year in receiving 70 punts. He had a stretch of 60 punts in a row where he did not call for a fair catch. Gambling Danny. There's a high one to him. He's backpedaling. Goes to the 10-yard line. Comes back to the 15. Keeps going to the 20. Still going. Bursts out of the pocket. Excellent return for Danny Reese as he brings it back to the Tampa Bay 28-yard line. And a timeout call on the field. Down to make the tackle was Ron Simpkins, a linebacker, a rookie from Michigan State. Well, it's still 3-0. Cincinnati ahead. 12 minutes to play in the first half. Horace Gregg in your left. John McKay, 16 years at USC, won 4 national titles. His best friend, Bear Bryant, the only college coach to win more national titles, 5. Tampa on the 28-yard line, a first down. Out of the eye, Doug Williams gives the ball to Jerry Eckwood at the 30. Eckwood slips and goes down to the 32. A 4-yard gain. A tackle by Bo Harris, the left outside linebacker.
Still looks like the way the Cincinnati team is playing defensively and trying to stop student body right and left, which they've done a good job of so far. They have to run off tackle some to open up the outside play that they like to run. Let's say if they do that somewhere on this drive, the way the defense is playing.
Gordon Jones went out. Isaac Higgins came into the wide receiver. Second down, 6 for Tampa Bay. They'll pass. He's going deep. He's covered right now, and it's way over the head of the receiver, fleeing down that far sideline. Ray Griffin covering the rookie Kevin House, who was injured the first 2 weeks of preseason. Got a slow start from Southern Illinois.
And there's a penalty on the play too, Curt.
All the penalties have been going against Tampa Bay. Not many, but they've had 2 holding penalties and a personal foul. They've had 35 yards of penalties so far. Cincinnati's not had a penalty. They've had 1 turnover. They played near flawless football. Neither club can get going much against each other in offense, so sticky have been the defenses. This is going to spot the ball back in the 22.
Tripping, number 73, Tampa Bay.
That's called on the right tackle. A penalty you don't see too often. Tripping. Charlie Hanna commits it. It is now second down, 16 for the Buccaneers. 11 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Higgins is to the right. Kevin House to the left of the wide receiver. He's got the protection. Out it goes to Higgins. Higgins nearly caught the ball. Just saved there by number 30, Dick Geron, and the crowd gives him a hand. He just got to it. Dick Geron, the safety man.
Yes, he made a great play. Dickie Geron, number 30. They tried to hit Isaac Hayden's on a flag pattern in and back out to the flag, but he came over from his free safety position and really played it beautifully, just like a center fielder in baseball.
Geron started his career with the Detroit Lions, came here to Cincinnati in 1978, a graduate of Yale University. He's been their leading interceptor the last 2 years with 10 interceptions. 5 backs in on the defense. Third down, 16 for Tampa Bay. That's Eckwood in motion. They're going to try and run the ball, and there is number 73, Eddie Edwards, the left end, spilling Ricky Bell for a loss, and the crowd again will give the Cincinnati defense a standing ovation as they come off the field.
For a team that didn't want to play that 3-4 defense, somebody's done a great job of selling it because they're playing beautiful.
They really are. Fourth down and 22 for Tampa Bay. There's the punter, Tom Blanchard. And the safety man is JoJo Heath, standing at the Cincinnati 45. Unless the Bengals mess up this return, they should have good position. That's a driving kick. Heath takes it on his 34-yard line, trying to come behind the fence. 35, 40, still going, 45, and is out of bounds on his 44-yard line. JoJo Heath. Well, Cincinnati up around the middle of the field when they start this next defensive series. We have a flag down somewhere. 35-yard field goal by John Smith. New England leads Cleveland 6-0 in the second quarter. The gang of 4 is still out. Haynes, Cunningham, Bishop, Owens holding out. Not on the squad for the opening of the season for the New England Patriots, which has a lot of people upset in New England. That's Lewis, the defensive captain, number 57. And this is going against, I believe, Cincinnati. Big discussion. Well,
They're having
Defense,
a
yeah, they're going back on the field, Hank.
big staff meeting here trying to decide what to do. Now the players go back off the field. They thought Tampa had possession. Evidently, they've changed it again.
And now here's Tampa Bay coming in. Ricky Bell, or Doug Williams, and David Lewis are unhappy. We had one reversal of a decision earlier in this game on a fumble. One official called it a dead ball. The other came in and reversed it, called it a fumble. This is going against Cincinnati. And this puts the ball back on the Cincinnati 16 and a half.
Personal foul, number 59. After the punt.
You don't mind those kind of calls, Curt, but especially if they're decisive. If it takes a long time, you wonder why it took so long time, and you get very disturbed about it as a coach on the sideline because you like for it something to happen dramatically if it's going to happen right away.
That's Mellentry, who committed a personal foul. Bengals ball on their 17-yard line. There's another flag down. Official drops a flag. That's offside now, Tampa Bay. This will put the ball on the Cincinnati 22-yard line. That didn't take long to call another penalty.
Encroachment, number 71, defense.
Randy Crowder, the nose tackle, encroached over the neutral zone and touched the player.
Encroachment that time, wasn't it?
Encroachment, that's going across the neutral zone, touching a member of the opposing team. 3 wide receivers on the field. Alexander's the lone running back. Thompson with a rush on him, comes out of the pocket, takes off, 25, there's a flag down. 3 flags in a row now in the last 3 plays. This may be something in that Cincinnati backfield.
Holding or pushing on the play. Let's see what they call.
Illegal use of the hands, I believe, against Cincinnati.
Yes, it looks like that. Well, Cincinnati so far has had the better of it from a field position standpoint. Tampa really has been in the soup most of the game except for that first series when they recovered a fumble and then fumbled the ball away on the 26-yard line.
Illegal use of the hands, number 77, offense.
That's on Mike Wilson, the right tackle. Illegal use of the hands. Put the ball back on the 11-yard line. This is getting amusing and confusing. 3 penalties in a row here. It's 1st and 15. Draw play to Archie Griffin. No room for him. He stopped just short of his own 15-yard line. 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down. 11 to go. Richard Wood, the inside linebacker, on the stop for Tampa Bay. 9:54 to go in the first half. Cincinnati ahead on a field goal by Eon Sunder.
Well, basically what's going on, Curt, as we look at it, the big difference really is the fact that Tampa has not had good field position. They've had the ball on the -20, -20, -25, -28, and there's not much of an opportunity to open up very much in that part of the field. On the other side of the ball, Cincinnati has on the 45, 46, 20, 44, 17, but they only got 3 points out of that good field position. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good point.
Hello, Truck.
Anything else you get?
Yeah,
bring it
I
up.
can't hear you guys up there. Now I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you before. Now that's a charge timeout to Cincinnati. So they have 2 left. Yeah, I thought they were supposed to be bad. Sims just hit Gray again. Yeah. Giants just scored on the Cardinals. 37-yard pass, Sims to Gray. Giants 14, Cardinals 7. 10 minutes to go in the first half in this one. That one, and here it is 9:33 to play in the first half. Cincinnati leading Tampa Bay 3-0.
In this kind of a game, the defense really has to force some kind of a turnover down this part of the field so he can shrink the size of the field and give him more of an opportunity to do something offensively. We're talking about both teams.
That's Alexander trying to sweep. Tampa Bay smothers him outside. He'll be stopped around his 17-yard line, a gain of only 2, and they're 3rd and 9 coming up. That tackle made by Cecil Johnson, the right linebacker.
And Anthony Munoz that time, the left tackle, pulled on the play and got a very good block on Mike Washington, but they filled in on the inside and made the play. But Munoz really did a good job of pulling on that play.
3 wide receivers on the field for the Bengals. Kreider, Curtis, Bass. Griffin came out. Alexander stays in as a lone setback. Jack Thompson, the quarterback. Ken Anderson has a knee injury. He's shaking away, and he throws the ball short to Kreider, 86. But he had a hard rush on him. That was led by the nose tackle, Randy Crowder.
But David Lewis was blitzing on the play, 57. He tried to roll out to his right. The blitz prevented him from doing that. He got in his face quickly and had to throw the ball prematurely, and it fell incomplete.
Now Tampa Bay, man, watch him get out of that. He's pretty good at ducking under the rush and getting away, squirming. Punt formation, Pat McAnally. Reese on his 35. Tampa Bay may come out of this now with a better field position they've had all in the first half. They've been pinned back. Oh, look out, a high snap. It's a low kick, not a good one, and it's out of bounds in Cincinnati territory. And now Tampa Bay has some operating position to go to work. Let's see where they're going to angle it out. It's going to be out on the 46-yard line of the Bengals. Tampa Bay's ball, first down. 8:38 to go in the half. 3-0 Cincinnati in the lead. Lucky to get that one away. I'll make that observation. Hank is saying there's the only thing worse than a poor punter or a poor punt is a poor snap. You can say, yeah, that would really understand. Hot, very hot in the 90s. I said it about 3 times. Good. Hello, kid.
He's looking for a popsicle.
Anybody got any snow? Hank is saying the only thing worse than a poor kick is a poor snap. They nearly snapped that one in the end zone.
Yeah, that went right into the tunnel almost. I'd be surprised if they don't throw the ball here on first down, Curt.
Well, let's watch. Tampa Bay's on the Bengal 46. Williams takes the ball. He hands it off to Ricky Bell. Bell fights his way for a yard or 2, and that's all.
That was the off-tackle play we talked about. They finally ran one from the I formation. The linebacker came up the field. Ricky Bell was able to go inside and make some yardage on the play, but they have to do that to make the sweep go.
Ricky Bell has only 6 yards in this game. Eckwood has only 4 yards. Bengals have done a job on that Tampa Bay ground game. Second down 7. Tampa Bay on the Cincinnati 43. Scores are hard to come by here. There's a deep drop by Doug Williams. He bombs it out, and it's incomplete. The flag is down. Interference may be called on Ray Griffin against Gordon Jones of Pittsburgh. He was all over him. Griffin, number 44, Archie's brother.
Doug Williams really rifled that ball that time, didn't he? He's got a terrific arm.
Number 44, defense. First down.
That's a pass interference call against Ray Griffin. That'll be a first down. Tampa Bay.
A play action pass. Watch it. The ball is thrown low. there's definitely contact, and pass interference is justified.
This is the deepest penetration for Tampa Bay in the game. They have a first down on Cincinnati's 27. Bell on a cutback play just to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. They wanted him to think he was running wide right. He cut back over his right guard. He was met by Ross Bronner, the right end, and Glenn Cameron, the inside linebacker. Orleans 7, San Francisco nothing. A 1-yard run by Tony Galbraith. That's in the second period. San Francisco trailing New Orleans 7-0. It is second down, 10 to go for the Buccaneers on the Cincinnati 27. Play action pass over the head of Giles, too high. Giles was streaking into the end zone. He had some coverage there, but nobody could have reached that without a step ladder.
Yes, that time they doubled the outside receivers, and they thought they could hit Giles, but he threw away over the top, and he was covered well. It looked like the outside receiver, Kevin House on the right side, looked like he had a chance to be open on the play, but he didn't see him.
Now Eckwood and Higgins are coming back. Williams looks the field over, runs out of the pocket, 30. He's at the 25. He's still going, and he has a first down. Some nifty scrambling there by Doug Williams. Taken out of bounds by Greg Bright, the safety man. Tampa Bay, a first down.
And Ricky Bell really did a good job of making a block that provided Doug Williams with the opportunity to get to the outside. He knew exactly where he had to go for the first down. Watch it. He goes back in the pocket again with the idea of throwing a ball downfield, looking downfield, good protection. Gets some leakage on the outside, decides to run, runs to the left. And watch Ricky Bell come into the picture here. There he is, Ricky Bell, number 42, throws a beautiful block and enabled Doug Williams to make the necessary yardage for the first down.
You're right, he made it all possible. It's been about a 2 or 3 yard game without Ricky Bell. First down, Tampa Bay on the Cincinnati 16-yard line. Williams to Bell, flag is down, Bell's over the 10 and spins to the 8-yard line. Ross Browner took him there, but a flag dropped as the ball was snapped, and the play started its momentum. 4-yard pass, Kramer to Joe Sensor. The Vikings lead Atlanta 14-6 in the second period. And this play is going to be called back as 2 touchdown passes for Tommy Kramer today. Looked like a holding call.
Holding number 50, Tampa Bay.
That's on the center. Steve Wilson must have came out there and grabbed the linebacker.
Well, what happens a lot of the times on the play, you know, he's got a man on his nose. And of course, sometimes, as we've seen so far in this game, they wind up with a 4-man front. As big as those people are, why, there's a lot of holding going on.
Yeah, and Hank, they've had 6 penalties now for 60 yards. Penalties have been stalling the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first half. With Cincinnati ahead 3-0. Roll out by Williams on the run. He throws it. It is just missed connections in the end zone for a touchdown to Jimmy Giles. Greg Bright was trying to cover him, but Giles had position on him. But he was being jammed up against the out-of-bounds line in the end zone.
Yeah, he had a chance. He was breaking open. The ball was just thrown a little bit too far out in front. And it looked like Doug Williams that time was not really anchored well. By that, I mean he wasn't set well. He threw it on the move when he didn't have to move. And he threw it a little bit over the top, and it falls incomplete.
We have a second down. 20 yards to go.
This would be a good time to call 2 plays in a huddle, so they couldn't bring in the 5th defensive back. You say call 1 and then go right up to the line of scrimmage if you don't make it, and as a result, they wouldn't be able to put in that 5th back.
That's an interesting point. They've been looking for that this year. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. I don't understand why they don't do it.
He flares it out. Ricky Bell going to work at the 25. Slips and goes down on the 21-yard line of Cincinnati. They want to get him out there, isolate him one-on-one on somebody, and let him go to work. That time his feet slipped out from under him. 3rd and 15. Tampa Bay on the Cincinnati 21. Tampa Bay's best scoring chance of the day. Cincinnati has done well against National Football Conference opposition, winning 11 and losing 5. And Tampa Bay holds an edge against their American Conference opponents, winning 4 out of 6.
There go the 5 defensive backs in there again, you say?
Yep. 3rd and 15. Big rush on it. Throws it desperately.
Pass
There's a
interference.
pass interference call. He bumped him down there around the 3-yard line. That's Louis Breeden, 34.
He tries to hit Jimmy Giles away from the 2 receivers. There's a blitz on the play. Reggie Williams almost gets there in time, but doesn't. There you see the contact. And the official calls pass interference on the play.
That may be on Brian Hicks. There's Giles. Giles is 245.
First down.
1st and goal to go. That's the 2nd pass interference call on this drive. But you had a little man, Hicks, 192, 6 feet tall, trying to cover a 6'3", 245-pounder. It's like in basketball, the big man takes the little man inside on the post.
Goes back to the same old thing. The good big man will always beat the good little man.
1st and goal, Tampa Bay on the Cincinnati 4-yard line.
See if they run right.
They do. They send Jerry Eckwood. Eckwood is to the 2-yard line. He's hit by Ray Griffin, the cornerback. It'll be 2nd down, 2 to go for a Tampa Bay touchdown. They're trailing 3-0 with 5:40 to play in the 1st half.
Field position is the name of the game. It's the first time they've had any decent field position. They got possession on the plus 46, and they've taken advantage of with the help of a couple of pass interference penalties.
That ball's on the 3, but it's over the 3, so official NFL statistics, they always go to the next yard line. That's why we're going to call it the 2. 2nd down.
Something right again.
Long 2 to go. They pitch to Bell. Ricky Bell slams down to the 2-yard line. And they had some good pursuit running wide that time on him. He was really hit there by Jim LeClaire, the left inside linebacker, 55, watching.
The way they pursue, it's good to get outside if you're going to get outside quickly with some kind of a pitch. But even though they pitched it quickly, it was still tough to make the yardage because the pursuit was so strong.
All right, the crowd roaring now. Encouragement to their goal line defense. Gordon Jones, the wide receiver on the field for Tampa Bay. It is 3rd down and 2 to go for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Cincinnati's in the lead, 3-0. 4:25 to go in the half.
Looks like something right again. There they go.
They roll it out, they throw, it is incomplete. He had it in his hand. It is dropped in the end zone. Appeared to be Kevin House there.
Here they roll out.
Giles.
It wasn't a very good fake. It looked like Doug Williams slipped on the play. Jimmy Giles.
Giles dropped it.
But you have to give a lot of credit to the defensive back, or linebacker, number 55, Jim LeClaire. He was all over him that time like a blanket.
Here's a 19-yard field goal attempt by Yepremian. The kick is up, and it's a tie game, 3-3. But what a goal line defense. 3 times within the 4. Cincinnati held them. Listen to the ovation for the Cincinnati defense as they come to the sideline. They stand up and applaud them.
You know, one thing you have to realize about this Cincinnati team last year on defense, last year Cincinnati was 23 total defense, 11 against the run, 24 against the pass. They're not playing like that today.
Yepremian, who just kicked the field goal, holds the National Football League mark of 20 in a row, spanning 1978 and 79, and he is the most accurate field goal kicker in the history of the National Football League, hitting, well, after that one, probably about 68% of his field goals. They got rid of him at New Orleans with a youngster coming back that was hurt last year. Little old tie maker moves on and on.
He's a great competitor and a real pro. The one question is how long he'll be able to kick off on kickoffs, and he's done that very well too.
Now the kick. It is taken on the 15-yard line by Brian Hicks. Brian Hicks runs it back to the 30-yard line. Cincinnati's ball, 1st down on their 30. San Francisco on a run by Earl Cooper had just tied New Orleans 7-all. He's a good-looking young back out of Rice University. They're very high on him, Henry.
Yes, and they're very high on the San Francisco 49ers. They made a lot of progress in a year, and they like the way they're doing things offensively, but they're also improved defensively, they tell me.
All right, we're in a tie. 3-3. Bengals ball on their 30-yard line. A little over 4 minutes to play in the first half. Alexander stopped cold at the 30. No gain. Let's see who got underneath that play. That was no tackle. Randy Crowder right in there.
Well, that's the one great thing about this Tampa Bay football team. You know, they play so well defensively. They don't give anything up easy. And at the end of the game, they'll always have a chance in that fourth quarter because they haven't given up points. Cincinnati is playing very much the same way. Both teams are doing a super job defensively.
Tampa Bay gave up the fewest points in the league last year, an average of 15 a game. 3 wide receivers on the field for the Bengals. Griffin is out. Alexander the lone setback. Jack Thompson. Big rush on him. Fumbles! Recovered by Cincinnati. Did the whistle blow? Yes. They said he was under control. That's the new rule of last year. If they wrap the quarterback up, they immediately blow the whistle so he won't become injured.
Randy Crowder got penetration along with Leroy Selman, but Crowder puts him in the vise, puts a squeeze on him, and the ball is jarred loose.
Well, the Bengals came out lucky on that one. Although they recovered the fumble, they could have lost it. It's third down, 24 to go, and Tampa Bay's defense playing very solid now. Cincinnati cannot move against them.
Sure, Cincinnati this time will run the football or throw some kind of a high percentage play.
There's somebody going in motion. Looked like to me 89 jumped off. Dan Ross. Flags went down. That's against Cincinnati. He was going before they even had exchanged the ball, center and quarterback. That puts it back on the 11 to 12-yard line. It'll be third down and 29.
Delay, number 12.
And they call a delay on the quarterback, Jack Thompson. He had 4 starts last year, Thompson. Well, this is not his baptism into National Football League competition.
And we've seen him several times, and he really has a lot of poise. A lot of good leadership qualities.
Yeah, he's very enthusiastic, big back slapper, outstanding personality. Right now he's worried about a third and 29. Look out, he's hit and smeared. And in on him is Randy Crowder, who's having a day for himself at nose tackle, the ex-Penn State All-American.
Watch him, 71, starts to the right. They try to block him, but he gets good penetration, makes good contact, a beautiful tackle right around the belt. Number 71, Randy Crowder, makes 3 big plays. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ought to get out of here now with good field position again.
McAnally, right, if he steps on that back line, it's a safety. He's punting. 4th down and 38 yards to go. There's the kick, a high one. Waiting for it is Reese on the 43 of Cincinnati, reversing to the 40. Keeps going to the 35, and Tampa Bay can go to work again with wide open position on that field. Dan Ross, the tight end, down to make the tackle. 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the first half. Right up they come on the 35-yard line of Cincinnati. Tampa Bay has just tied it with a field goal. Now they're back threatening again. Eckwood hit for a loss of a yard. It'll be second down 11. And a 2-minute warning is given. So we'll be back here for the last 2 minutes of the first half with the score tied 3-3. Hello, Truck. I couldn't understand you playing the music and we never had any commercial countdown or anything. No. Cardinals with Wayne Moore scoring his second touchdown. This one a 9-yard John to tie the Giants 14-all. Last 2 minutes of the first half. They'll have all the scores for you at halftime. Right now, Tampa Bay's on the Cincinnati 36. Second down 11, and this game is tied 3-3 in the last 2 minutes. Williams throws on the line out there to Isaac Higgins. He can't get it. He was being covered by Ray Griffin. They didn't call an interference, and the crowd gives the officials the mock cheer.
They've got a very easy job.
Yeah. Ross Browner, the ex-Notre Dame All-American, the #1 draft pick of '78, had a very penetrating rush that time on Doug Williams. 3rd and 11 for Tampa Bay. Line of scrimmage, the Cincinnati 36. Gordon Jones to the left, Kevin House to the right as the wide receivers.
Got a 4-man rush.
Trying to get in there on him. Pass high, intercepted by Cincinnati. On the Cincinnati 28. Rick Razzano with the flag down on the play. Rick Razzano, the little bulldog who came down here. He's from Virginia Tech, a rookie, came out of the Canadian League with his ex-coach of Toronto, Forrest Gregg.
They had a stunt on that time. When Browner came from the inside, the ball was deflected, and Razzano makes that interception.
There's penalties against Tampa Bay. It's holding.
Number 74 declined. 4th down.
Gene Sanders, wait a minute, they didn't call that an interception. It was an incomplete pass. I guess the ball hit the ground. Yeah,
it slipped all the way through. It looked like he might have had it, but it slipped right on through. 2 points. Basket on the play.
So they decline the penalty, brings up a 4th down. That was holding on Gene Sanders, the left guard. And the punt aimed for the coffin corner, and he spirals it out. By just about a wash-off with a touchback. It's out on the 14. Cincinnati's ball, 1st down. The Bengals have had no offense in the second quarter. They outplayed Tampa Bay in the first period. Tampa Bay's outplayed Cincinnati in the second quarter. But the two teams are tied up. Remember, we'll run down all the scores at halftime. Cincinnati had terrible starts in 78-79. In 1978, they lost their first 8 games, and last year they lost their first 6 games. It's hard to come back after starts like that with morale, enthusiasm.
Yeah, that's really murder.
3 wide receivers on the field. Slot right. Bengals from their 14. Roll out by Thompson. He shoots the pass, and he has a completion to Steve Kreider for a 1st down at the 27-yard line of Cincinnati. He threw that right into some orange traffic.
Yes.
Wait a minute, now they've called it an incomplete. One called it a complete pass, and the other official an incomplete pass. So it's incomplete. They started to move the yardsticks up. Kreider's out. 2nd down 10. Four tied, 3-all. Alexander with the ball. 17-yard line. Tampa Bay plugs those holes up very quickly, Hank.
Yeah, it looks like he has some running room, and by the time the back gets there, why they snuff it out. That was a play that Washington ran pretty well a week ago against Cincinnati, a draw play from a passing formation. But they responded well to what they saw.
They didn't huddle. They had a preconceived play drawn, and that was nearly grabbed off by 56.
Cecil Johnson.
Cecil Johnson over there, the right linebacker.
He almost put the vacuum sweeper on that one.
4th down. Punting team comes on again for the Bengals as Tampa Bay's defense gets better and better on each play of the game. 1 minute 8 seconds to go now. McAnally to punt. appears as if a mistake or two is going to decide this game in the second half. A booming punt. Danny Reese on his 27 to the 30 to the 35 to the 40 to the 45. Oh, is he hit there by number 52. Covering there is Tom Dinkle, a reserve linebacker.
You know, the way both teams are putting pressure on the quarterback, Curt, I would think that somewhere in the second half they would do more moving the pocket, rolling the quarterback a little bit to disturb the rush of the defenses, because both of them are teeing off extremely well on the quarterback when he throws from the pocket.
All right, Tampa Bay has 55 seconds to try and get on the board to break this 3-3 tie at the end of the half. They're on their own 46. Williams pass, nearly picked off by number 50, Glenn Cameron, the linebacker. He was there in position, couldn't quite reach it. Second down, 10, the pass intended for Gordon Jones. It'll be Tampa Bay now with 51 seconds. That took only 4 seconds. And Glenn Cameron comes out.
Tampa Bay has 3 timeouts left.
Cincinnati has 2 left. The 4-man front. Mike White's gone in now to be the 4th rusher. Trying to get to him. It's a flare out to the 50, 45, 40. Oh, out of bounds to stop the clock as Ricky Bell is finally shook him loose on that flare pattern.
Eckwood really made a great block. Jerry Eckwood downfield made it possible for him to slip down the sideline, made a beautiful block, and provided Ricky Bell with a chance to get down the sideline like he did for a big game.
Tampa Bay in Cincinnati territory on the Cincinnati 32.5. Time remaining in the first half, 42 seconds. Game tied 3-3.
Curt, I'll tell you another thing about this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. The acquisition of Garo Premium is going to make a big difference. He's going to help tremendously because he's really a great kicker.
Williams to Eckwood. Eckwood's going to pass. Lobs it out to Higgins. Short. No good. That's twice. They tried that half-back pass. One time he was long with it. That time he was short with it. Dick Duran was going back to cover.
Yeah, they had him faded in pretty good shape that time.
There's the time remaining in the first half, 36 seconds. It'll be second down 10. Tampa Bay in the Cincinnati 32.
Cincinnati's in a 4-man rush, and they're coming strong. A trap, some kind of a trap up the middle might break for a big gain. They can call timeout and still have plenty of time. Let's see what they do. They're back in a 3-man front. Now they've got a linebacker down.
They're going after him. There's a pass. Giles is there. Giles, touchdown. Jimmy Giles scores a touchdown.
Well, they caught him in a blitz.
33-yard heave.
They caught him in a blitz that time, exactly what you like. Protection was good, and Doug Williams put it right on the shelf. Watch the linebacker, number 50, coming inside Cameron, but he throws the ball over the top on number 47, Greg Bright, and I mentioned that earlier. Thought maybe they would want to work on him because he is a rookie playing in his first game, and it's quite a tough assignment for that youngster to cover Jimmy Giles on that kind of a play.
And Garrow for the point. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and with 29 seconds to go in the half, a 33-yard strike from Doug Williams to Jimmy Giles puts Tampa Bay out in the lead. And Hank, that's got to be a big lift to a club to score just before halftime.
Oh, it really is, and especially when you struggle so much. But this team, you know, they've got a lot of poise and they've got a lot of composure, and they just keep playing well defensively, and they know somewhere along the line they'll make something happen. I've seen them play so many times. They just don't give up any points easily, and they know somewhere, sometime they're going to get good field position for the offense, and the rest of it will take care of itself, and that's exactly what happened so far in this game. They had possession on the plus 46, plus 35, minus 46, and scored 2 out of the 3 times.
Well, you're not kidding, I guess. Of course, they nearly went to the Super Bowl last year, but many thought, well, maybe they had sneaked up on everybody. But you think they're a strong contender this year, don't you?
Oh, I really do. I think they're going to. And listen, they're going to be much better with Ricky Bell being able to play tailback and Johnny Davis at fullback. They're not being able to do that today, and that makes a big difference too. I think Ricky Bell is a much, much better runner from the I formation than he is from conventional formations.
That one comes down to Bright, or Hicks to the 20, gets over to 30, and he'll go down on his 35. Now Cincinnati has just not been able to move in the second period. They have been stopped cold. There's been more and more pressure on the young quarterback, Jack Thompson.
It's like pulling taffy, you know, and especially when they get control of the game, then, of course, it really makes it more difficult.
So let's see what the Bengals do in the last 24 seconds of the first half. 10-3, Tampa Bay in the lead. 3 wide receivers on the field. Thompson rolls out, throws. There is a high toss. He's trying to hit his receiver, the tight end. That's Dan Ross, but he threw that ball too high, rolling left.
Well, it's interesting to see that he is rolling a little bit because he has to get away from that pressure and not stay back in that pocket consistently because they're really teeing off on him. And as the game goes along and trying to play catch-up football, why it'd be very difficult for him to throw from the pocket consistently without moving it some.
Get a second down, 10. Bengals on their 35. 18 seconds to go in the half. Rush on him. Flares it to Alexander. Alexander's out of bounds. The clock stops at the 39. There's a penalty flag down. 2 flags are dropped behind the line of scrimmage. So now we're down to 12 seconds to go in the half. Mark this one off against the Bengals, back to the 25.
78 offense.
Anthony Munoz, the prize rookie, was holding at left tackle. Second down, 20. Cincinnati's 25-yard line. Tampa Bay in a prevent defense.
Good time to just keep the backs in and let them block. This time they run.
That's Archie Griffin, and he's to the 27. The clock should run out to the end of the half. It was Cincinnati taking the lead 3-0 in the first period. Tampa Bay picking up 10 points in the second quarter. And that's the score at halftime. Tampa Bay 10 and Cincinnati 3.
What's that? Curt.
Sitting down.
Where do you want us? Is this like we're here? And look at the camera or what? And look at the camera?
Yeah, it's so hard to get on and everything. It's over there. Give me my jacket. Why do I need a jacket? It's hot.
It looks so cute in a jacket.
I don't think I can get it on in time. I can't move with this. Hand me my jacket there, will you?
What's going on at Brent Musburger and NFL Control?
Oh, this is impossible.
Pull this over my shoulder. What do you please, Curt?
Well, we're going to have a halftime show. We're returning you to New York shortly. with the NFL Today Show and highlights of action elsewhere around the National Football League. And that 10-3 score showed you what a tough defensive game it was in the first half. Cincinnati's passing attack today, Hank, is almost non-existent. The youngster Thompson had only 2 completions, while Tampa Bay's passing game started to come late in the second quarter.
Well, they came late in the second quarter because they had much better field position. They finally got a chance to operate like they'd like to operate and throw the ball more on first down. They did that successfully. They got the ball on the plus 46 and took advantage of it by getting a field goal. Then they later got it on the minus 46 and got a touchdown out of that drive. But they are both playing so well defensively that it's really like a taffy pull trying to move the football unless you get good field position.
Well, Cincinnati's going to have to do something to open up.
Well, they're going to have to do something more dramatic, yes, than they've done so far in the game. They moved the ball very well, Curt, in the preseason game in Tampa by throwing to the backs and exercising good patience. They haven't displayed that kind of an attack so far in this game. They might do it more in the second half.
How about the heat here? It's hot. As you can see us up there. How's this going to affect play in the second half?
Well, I don't think it's going to affect Tampa at all because they practice in it all the time. And so it's a cakewalk for them, I think. It might make much more of a difference to Cincinnati, although they practice here too. So I think both teams are well conditioned and they're used to the heat.
Tampa Bay didn't play a lot of its regulars a lot of the time in preseason. Now we've seen them for only one half. Going back to last year and the opening of this year, what's your impression of them?
Oh, they're a better team. There's no question about it. They had better outside receiving in the persons of Kevin House, who was a fine young receiver. Gordon Jones has come on strong. He's doing a better job. And, of course, tight end Jimmy Giles is one of the very finest in the business. So I think they're going to be a better team because they're still going to be great defensively, and they're going to be much better offensively, too. Plus, the acquisition of Garo Yepremian is going to help them tremendously.
Let's take a look at some scores. 14-6, Minnesota over Atlanta. 2 touchdown passes there to Tommy Kramer. Chicago and Green Bay. Green Bay leading the Bears 6-3. Field goal battle there so far. St. Louis and the Giants at halftime 14-14. And we had a change there. Earl Cooper had just picked up another touchdown, 6-yard run. 49ers lead New Orleans 14-7 now. Cleveland and New England. New England 13, Cleveland 3. Grogan to Jackson, the only touchdown of that game. Houston and Pittsburgh, 17-0 at the half. Bradshaw touchdown pass, Harris a 1-yard run and a field goal by Matt Barr. So that highly advertised game is not as close as everybody thought. Buffalo at halftime leading Miami 3-0. And that's the last score, and we'll be giving you scores throughout the afternoon of action elsewhere around the National Football League. Our score here at halftime, as both clubs are in the locker room, is 10-3. Tampa Bay, the defending NFC Central champs, against Cincinnati, which is hoping for a new deal from their new head coach, Forrest Gray. Right now, we're going to Brent Musburger at the NFL Today control room in New York, and then we'll be back here in Cincinnati.
want us to... You coming back to us? We're not going to be on camera, though. Oh, are you? Okay. Well, same thing? Yeah. Yeah, really catchy. Like it's got the hiccups. Like they got the hiccups.
Have to give some credit to the defenses today instead of calling the offenses sluggish with Tampa Bay ahead here 10-3 at halftime. The Cubs will be back here on the field in 2 or 3 minutes. But here are the statistics. 41 yards rushing for Cincinnati in the first half. 25 yards rushing for Tampa Bay. Passing, Cincinnati just 2 out of 11. Tampa Bay picked up some in the second half with 7 out of 17, 94 yards. We're going to show you the one successful pass play of the entire first half that clicked for the only touchdown. It was a fired-up Cincinnati defense in the first period. Then you could see Tampa Bay's defense coming on, settling down to take over the game in the second quarter. Now, whether that same pattern is going to prevail in the second half, we'll have to wait and see. Let's take a look at the pass play, 29 yards from Doug Williams to his tight end, Jimmy Giles.
And the thing that made it successful was the fact that they had good pass protection. They were working on Greg Bright, the rookie, number 47, safety man. Jimmy Giles on the rookie. It was no match. You see him, he's wide open on the play. Here comes the rookie late, but it's way too late. He's in the end zone for the touchdown, but that's what happened on the play.
And we'll be back in Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati at halftime with a score 10-3 Tampa Bay. One of those guys. Don't look at me, ask them. What? With Kimball?
Yeah, he thinks he's on a early direct. Slap him around. Yeah, he's doing good.
Huh?
Doing good.
take a look at individual statistics. The leading ball carrier for Tampa Bay, the quarterback, Doug Williams, 1 carry for 11 yards. Ricky Bell had 7 yards. Eckwood had only 7 yards. Alexander's the leading ball carrier in the game with 30 yards on 10 carries. Williams 7 out of 15 passing. Thompson 2 out of 11. Pass receiving, Bell caught 4. He's the leading pass receiver. Cincinnati will kick off. Isaac Higgins is deep for Tampa Bay. We open the second half. He takes it on the 5. Higgins is out to the 15 to the 20. Comes over the 25 to the 28-yard line. It'll be first down, Tampa Bay. Brian Hicks, defensive back, downfield to cover the kickoff. We've had only 2 sacks in the game. They've been made by Tampa Bay. Each club has turned the ball over only once.
You know, a lot of people around the country wonder about this Cincinnati team, about their talent and skill. But all you have to do is study the roster carefully and realize that they have 12 number 1 draft choices on this team, which is a great illustration of the kind of skill they have and the way they should play as the season goes along.
Doug Williams, the quarterback. Eckwood and Ricky Bell, the running backs behind him. We'll set the rest of the lineup. That's a straight handoff to Ricky Bell, a 2-yard gain to his 30-yard line, tackled by Reggie Williams, the right linebacker.
And they start the second half, Curt, with a double tight end offense with the idea evidently of getting a better running attack. Obradovich is playing along with Jimmy Giles. They're playing with one receiver, and evidently they're going to try to do that on 1st and 10. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, they just took Obradovich out. Might do it on first down plays. They have the rookie Kevin House in there, the wide receiver now. Second down, 8. Tampa Bay from their 30. Williams looks the field over, comes out of the pocket to the 30 to the 35, goes down along the 39-yard line of Tampa Bay, may have the first down. So he's averaging about 10 yards a carry.
Well, the nice thing about the quarterback, you know, you just can't win consistently in the National Football League anymore, I don't think, unless you have a quarterback who can run when he has to. They keep the drives alive, and the defense is everybody on the offensive team except one person, and that's the quarterback.
7 first downs for Tampa Bay, 2 for Cincinnati. Buccaneers ball, their 39-yard line. Ricky Bell to the 40, keeps going, 45 to the 46 or 47 for Reggie Williams, takes him down, and a good lead block out in front, Jerry Eckwood. "47-yard line, an 8-yard gain, it'll be second down 2. They're shuttling 2 or 3 players in each time. Out goes Gordon Jones. Alternating receivers. Tampa Bay on their own 47. We've just opened the second half. 10-3 in favor of Tampa Bay.
This would be a good time for a play-action pass. Nope.
That's Jerry Eckwood. Eckwood, no gain, short of a first down. He may have his 48. Greg Bright came up from the strong safety to make the tackle.
I hate to belabor the point, but I just don't think that the Tampa team operates nearly as efficiently from a run standpoint when Johnny Davis is not playing as they do when he's not playing, because he really is an excellent blocker and adds a dimension to the offense that's hard to find because he is such an outstanding blocker.
Third down short.
You get a quarterback sneak.
He may not have it. Doug Williams trying it. Powerful quarterback, 215 pounds, 6'4", been the leading ball carrier today for Tampa Bay. That's his 3rd try to scrimmage. And as he untangle, they may have a measurement. Getting overcast, but it's still very hot here in the second half. Cincinnati. They bring the sticks on.
What do you think, Curt? Do you make it?
I don't think so. These 2 teams have played only once before in regular competition. And Cincinnati won at 21-0. Tampa Bay is short. 17-3 in the third quarter. Pittsburgh over Houston. Houston finally scoring. They were blanked in the first half. Punt formation. Blanchard will do the kicking. He averaged 40 yards a kick in the first half. He punted 5 times. JoJo Heath, the safety man. Bad snap again. And they're going to let that one bounce around. It skips into the end zone. It's a touchback. Cincinnati's ball on their own 20-yard line with a first down. We'll be back. Riverfront Stadium. The score, Tampa Bay 10, Cincinnati 3. Shot at Kenny Anderson down on the sideline, number 14. Kenny Anderson, number 14, on the sideline with no helmet. He's on about the 47 of Cincinnati. Good. There's a man who holds the lowest interception record in the NFL. He's not playing today because of stretched ligaments in his left knee, veteran Ken Anderson. And a youngster, Jack Thompson, out of Washington State in his second year, trying to get this club moving, and he can't. Look at that Tampa Bay defense. Popping right on Charles Alexander, number 40, the running back. Leroy Selman, number 63 there. Selman voted the outstanding defensive player in the National Football League last year.
You talk about the offensive line. They must get off the ball and get a surge. That time, it looked like the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was in their huddle because they beat them to the punch, got off the ball much, much better at the line of scrimmage, and that's why they stuffed the play like they did.
Selman did not miss a play last season until the second half of the title game against the Rams, the last game. And tripped up as Archie Griffin at the 19-yard line.
Randy Crowder is really playing an excellent game. He's been involved in a lot of big plays, and especially down in this part of the field. He just came up with another big tackle.
Danilo just kicked the field goal for the Giants. They lead the Cardinals 17-14. 12 minutes to go in the third quarter. Right now, Cincinnati's presented with a third down and 11. A third and 10 and a half. They're going nowhere. Second period, early in the third period against Tampa Bay. Thompson, pass, nearly intercepted, not quite. Went through the arms of Charles Alexander, number 40, and nearly grabbed off by Curtis Jordan, the left cornerback. So again, Cincinnati will have to punt. And in the first half, they had 6 kicks. Pat McAnally averaging 46 yards a boot. Danny Reese is the safety man. McAnally is a reserve receiver. He was an All-American at Harvard.
And the great thing about him is he has excellent hang time and gets the ball up very high. Let's time him this time and see what he does.
All right, put the watch on. Trying to get everybody lined up properly.
They don't have too much time if they're not careful.
Tampa Bay hopping around trying to confuse him. That's about as long as he'll ever want to take to get a punt off. Kicks this one to Reese, who fields it on his 37, trying to get outside. I believe we got a clip there. Somebody got belted from behind. Reese is down on the 37-yard line. They threw the flags at the 40-yard line, and a Cincinnati player was knocked down from behind.
And the hang time was not good that time. We were bragging about it. That time it was 3.8.
They want at least a 4.5, don't they, hang time, Hank?
Yeah, that's That's the sweet time, yes. Somewhere between 4.2 and 4.5.
4.5 seconds, that ball up in the air to enable your wide men or players who can get downfield with some speed to be on the receiver just as he's catching the ball. The penalties marched off against Tampa Bay. That's clipping.
55.
The clipping is called on Aaron Brown. Watch it.
There.
Well, that's the tackle, not the clip.
You have to look very quickly to see the clip. There you see it, Aaron Brown, number 55, making the clip on the play. Well, of course, Tampa's got a tough game today, and then, of course, they've got another one Thursday. They play the Los Angeles Rams in Tampa. Yeah, I'm just talking to...
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just... Do it? Yeah, well, thank you, thank you. Give me a lemon drop.
Tampa Bay up to the line of scrimmage on their 21-yard line with a first down. They're leading 10-3. Curt, Gowdy, and Hank Stram here from Cincinnati. They're in the I formation. Doug Williams, Ricky Bell, Jerry Eckwood. Throws out, trying to hit Eckwood coming out of the backfield. Greg Bright, a safety man, was blitzing Doug Williams and nearly nailed him before he let the ball go.
Yes, he did. He got good, had good anticipation on the play. The strong safety, Greg Bright, number 47, the rookie, back into the pocket. And here you see him. He's trying to throw a screen pass out to the left side to Eckwood, but he has to throw it prematurely, and it falls incomplete.
Steve DeBerg just hit Paul Hoefler with a 27-yard pass. 49ers lead New Orleans 20-7. Many people predicted that the 49ers would be the most improved team in the league this year. They looked good in preseason. Timeout. They got confused. Wait a minute now. Cincinnati has called timeout. They'll have 2 left. They had a timeout midway in the first half. So we have a timeout in Cincinnati, and the score, Tampa Bay 10 and Cincinnati 3. Minnesota 21, Atlanta 6. Tommy Kramer, a third touchdown pass of the game. So he's tied in Tucker. New England over Cleveland 20-3 in the third period. And that's Jerry Eckwood trying to struggle. Running into the front three of Edwards, Whitley, and Browner. Helped by the left linebacker, Bo Harris.
Very obvious that Cincinnati felt that they had to stop, number 1, the student body right and left of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and so far they have done that. They haven't succeeded in making any yardage on that play at all. I wonder if they go along whether they won't put a wing back on that side and try to get outside that way to occupy and block that linebacker who's coming across so quickly. or to run more plays inside the run-off tackle some to counteract that move.
3rd and 7 as Williams retreats. Out it goes to Ricky Bell. He'll have the first down. Breaks away to the 40.
Fumble.
Cincinnati may have it. Cincinnati recovers.
Greg Bright, number 47, looks like recovered the fumble on the play. And you don't see Ricky Bell fumble that much.
Oh, and he broke loose. That's been their best play today. Of flaring the ball out to Ricky Bell, letting him go to work out in an open field. That's the 2nd turnover by Tampa Bay.
There he throws on the outside. Breaks out to the inside of the field.
Ask him how a guy can get a touchdown and still be behind. I was just going to say it was going to rain very hard here pretty soon. Big black cloud coming from the left, from the Cincinnati goal line. And look what we have coming here over Riverfront Stadium, a big black cloud moving in from our left. We may get some rain here. We're in the 3rd period. 9 minutes to play, and Cincinnati just had a break. Recovering a Ricky Bell fumble. They have a first down in the Tampa 43.
See if they throw the ball here and show a little bit more aggression on 1st and 10, especially with this good field position. No, they sure don't.
Archie Griffin over the 35, maybe a first down to the 34-yard line for Tampa Bay. That's the first time they really had a little hole open in that Tampa Bay front. Option pass, Earl Campbell, 57 yards to Billy White Shoes Johnson, has Houston back in the game with Pittsburgh. It's 17-10 now. Steelers over Houston at the 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh led at the half, 17-0. They're going to measure for the first down. Oh, this big black cloud is getting closer and closer. Suddenly some breeze is springing up, and the breeze will be in favor of Cincinnati in the 3rd period. We had no wind to start the game, and that is a first down for the Bengals.
And if it really starts to rain, Curt, the team that has a lead has a distinct advantage.
Right now, Tampa Bay has that lead, 10-3. Jack Thompson calling the signal. There the I formation, Alexander and Archie Griffin. Isaac Curtis, the only wide receiver. Alexander hurdles to the 30-yard line. Charles Alexander picks up 3. 2nd down, 7.
Cincinnati is now playing with a double tight end offense with Dan Ross and M.L. Harris playing the tight end positions. It's very obvious they want to solidify the running game and match up 7-on-7.
Otis Anderson has just scampered 24 yards for a touchdown. The Cardinals lead the Giants 21-17 in the 3rd quarter. And a little bit of rain now starting to fall here. Some of the crowd trying to move back toward the exits. 2nd down, 7. Griffin inside, over the 25, still going. They have the first down to the 21 of Tampa Bay. And they're penetrating inside the tackles.
Yes, they are. And it looked like that time the right guard, Montoya, pulled to the right, which influenced the linebacker. Griffin popped right through the hole, right through the seam, the cavity, and made a big gain on the play.
Double tight end offense. Dan Ross, M.L. Harris. 2 tight ends are in the game. Look at the wind swirling everything around. Lightning flashing overhead, and we're going to have a thunder shower here in the 3rd quarter with Tampa Bay ahead 10-3.
Looks like something right.
That's Alexander. He's to the 18-yard line. They're staying inside. They're not running outside against Tampa Bay. They're knifing inside the tackle. 2nd down, 7. Bengals on the Tampa Bay 18. Isaac Curtis, as we remarked, it's about a 10-15 mile an hour wind in favor of Cincinnati. Curtis replaces the tight end M.L. Harris, which gives them two wide receivers, Bass and Curtis. Second down play. And they bang inside once again. Archie Griffin carries the ball on a quick hitter. That's the play that he gained over 1,000 yards every year at Ohio State, those quick hitters inside.
Yeah, they stuffed at that time, responded much better to what they saw, the defense that is of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and stopped the play in pretty good shape.
We're approaching 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. It'll be third down 5. Cincinnati on the Tampa Bay 16-yard line. And it's raining hard now.
Something left, either a pass or a run. It is left.
Alexander, flag is down. Alexander, first and goal to go, but they drop flag. You could have a holding. You do have a holding called against Cincinnati, a costly penalty. They would have had a first and goal at the 3-yard line of Tampa Bay.
Well, it's one thing if they stop you, but it's another thing when you stop yourself. That's what you hate to have done to your football team.
Number 58, third down.
Called on the center, Blair Bush, for holding. And they had a gain of 13 yards by Charles Alexander, wiped out.
And the way Randy Crowder is playing, it's easy to understand why Blair Bush that time was holding on the play.
Third and 15 now, and a heavy rain falling here in Cincinnati. The fade. The trap, and he's wrapped up. Jack Thompson wrapped up back in the 35-yard line. And they're on him. Leroy Selman, number 63, the defensive end. He got by Munoz that time.
And Bill Kohler came in there and provided a good rush, too. Number 77, the other defensive end.
Well, imagine you're glad sitting there in your living room or wherever you are watching this game and not out in the open with that driving rain coming down. And a punt coming up. Leroy Selman, by the way, led Tampa Bay in sacks last year with 11.
The people are evacuating the premises in herds, aren't they?
They sure are. Oh, what a rain now. Cover up, boys. And a timeout called. They called time. I think they were concerned about getting the snap. The wind gusting, a hard rain coming down. And I'm sure that would discharge timeout against Cincinnati. He signaled to the Cincinnati side. We're going to check on that. Let's see now. They just called a legal delay against Cincinnati. That's all. They took the penalty. They have called one timeout in this half. McAnally to punt. A holding penalty may have cost Cincinnati a touchdown. They would have had a first and goal to go on the Tampa Bay 3. Alexander's 13-yard run called back. A high snap. But he gets it away. Listen to the lightning thunder crackle. That one. Oh, he catches the ball down there and he takes it. Tampa Bay in a driving rain. They have the ball on their 4-yard line as Mike Levenseller went down to cover the punt. We'll be back. Tampa Bay in a hole in a rainstorm with a score 10-3 Tampa Bay. Have any other music?
What the hell are you worrying about that for?
Huh?
Sims just thrown another touchdown pass.
Boy, this is really something.
Second-year quarterback Phil Simms just thrown his third touchdown pass of the day. Giants 24, the Cardinals 21. Houston has tied Pittsburgh. Campbell had just scored. A driving rain, gusty wind, lightning, thunder. Tampa Bay gets it out of trouble. That run is from the 4-yard line. Jerry Eckwood carries it out almost for a first down. Tom Dinkle tackled him in the secondary.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers that time lined up in a double tight end offense, which is very good thinking to make sure they get 7 on 7. Jimmy Obradovich, 86, and Jimmy Giles are playing the tight end position with one flanker on the outside.
Second down, about a foot to go. Tampa Bay on their 14-yard line. They're ahead 10-3. There's a flag down. A Williams handoff. We started this afternoon in beautiful, hot weather, and now a torrential downpour. Everybody's back under cover. Winds are swirling. These are actually terrible conditions now.
This looks like it would be something when you'd be out at sea. The weather the way it is out here, isn't it, Curt?
Yes, sir.
Holding penalty on the play.
Holding, number 50.
Chuck Muncie scored on a 7-yard run. The 49ers lead New Orleans 20-13 in the third quarter. High-scoring games. Well, the whole offense has been opened up in the NFL with the rule changes that have made the passing game so dangerous, letting those wide receivers go free, letting the pass blockers open their hands up. Boy, you should see the lightning and hear this thunder. We're getting big wet spots now on the artificial surface. This weather could change this with some bubbles, drop passes.
Tampa Bay would like for him to call the game at this time.
Yeah. All because of rain, but it doesn't happen. They're on the 8-yard line. They have a second down. And 6 to go. Eckwood pile up. Maybe a yard or two lost. Jerry Eckwood hit behind the line of scrimmage by Tom Dinkle, third-year player, and Rick Rosano, a rookie from Virginia Tech. They got some youngsters in there now as linebackers.
Glenn Cameron, number 50, goes back into his regular position, the right inside right linebacker position.
Blanchard hoping he doesn't have to punt in this kind of weather. Third down, 8 yards to go. Tampa Bay from its 6-yard line. Rollout, Williams goes down on the 7-yard line. Ken Riley, the old veteran right cornerback, refused to be fooled on that one.
That's not a bad call because really, they chase him like gangbusters. There's a chance to make a big play. It didn't work, but it was worth the try.
4th and 7, and Tampa Bay will kick out of its end zone in a rainstorm. Oh, listen to that lightning and thunder. Boy, that one nearly hit the stadium, a big lightning bolt. JoJo Heath on the 50-yard line. Wait a minute, they have no punter back there. They nearly snapped the ball without a punter. And they called timeout. They had no punter on the field.
Blanchard
Nearly snapped the ball.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it?
They had 10 men on the field.
I don't blame him for not wanting to kick.
I said Blanchard didn't want to run. Here he is coming on. They finally get him out there. They give Blanchard the ball. He says, I don't want the ball.
A lot of crazy things can happen from here on in with the way this weather is.
It's not raining as hard. It's a steady rain now. The wind is still gusting around, though. Blanchard, Tampa Bay had only 10 men on the field to make a punt without a punter. That's the newest play in football. There he is. He's kicked well today. It is a squirmer. They run into him. This is going to be a costly penalty. It's going going to give Tampa Bay a first down. They ran into the kicker. This is usually the most costly penalty in football because you have the ball coming to you, you run into the kicker, and you give him the ball back again. And that was Brian Hicks and Rick Rosado, a couple of over-anxious kids who ran into the kicker.
Here we see another picture of it. Look at, boy, he breaks through right up the middle like nobody was there. He got the ball off in good shape. It went off the side of his foot. Now, had they blocked the kick, they couldn't, of course, call the penalty, but they did not block it. He got a free kick. It wasn't very good, but he got it off, and so they call roughing the kicker.
They're arguing. They dropped those flags. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be something here on Tampa Bay also. The line of scrimmage was the 7, a 4th down, and a gusting, driving rainstorm. The conference is over.
Holding.
Holding has been called against Tampa Bay. I said there may be a foul call against Tampa Bay also.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Evidently, it's
let's
holding.
get this. Otherwise, that was running into the kicker, which would have given. That's running into the kicker and holding, a double foul on Tampa Bay. So we'll have a 4th down play coming up again. It's all wiped out. Otherwise, Tampa Bay would have had an automatic 1st down. And Blanchard will have to punt again. One penalty offsets the other, and here's Blanchard to go back in the end zone to punt. 10-3, Tampa Bay leading, 2:49 to play in the 3rd quarter. Cincinnati showed their first offensive spurt since the first period. They went to the 3-yard line of Tampa Bay, but a holding play called that one back after Tampa Bay fumbled. How would you like to be Tom Blanchard now, kicking in this wind and rain out of the end zone?
I'd much rather be right up here where we are, Curt.
All right, he gets a bad snap. Now he's going to take an automatic safety. He took the safety instead of gambling on having a punt blocked or fumbling the ball. It's a safety, and Tampa Bay will have a free kick from its own 20.
That's a good play, Curt, because in all probability he never would have gotten off a good kick, and it would have put them in a position to get 7 points instead of just 2. Now they're going to line up on the 20. He'll punt it from there, and they'll get a chance to play defense. Cincinnati will have possession again, but overall that was an excellent call.
Well, he can now punt unopposed. All his fighting is the rain now, but he'd be all on his own to kick it from the 20. The score is 10-5. Look at the towel. The towel's wet on a wet ball. 10-5 is the score in favor of Tampa Bay. We had offsetting fouls, running into the kicker, offset by holding, or Tampa Bay would have had a 1st down. And maybe emerged from the jam. Here's Blanchard now with a free kick. And Cincinnati will send man back to receive it. That's going to be JoJo Heath on his 30-yard line. He's kicking against a cross-swirling wind. There's a kick. Not a very good one. It is taken on the 37-yard line of Cincinnati, 40, 45, slogs up to the 50, and goes with a fumble, a pile up there, runs it to the Tampa Bay 45-yard line. Steve Kreider, the wide receiver. Cincinnati in Tampa Bay territory as they take over after the free kick in a weird set of circumstances. Giants have scored again. They lead St. Louis now 31-21. New England pouring it on the Browns. The high-scoring Browns of last year have been held without a touchdown today, 27-3. 2 tight ends. Cincinnati on the Tampa Bay 45-yard line. Coming through is Archie Griffin. They're finding holes inside now from tackle to tackle. Vic Munoz is moving men out of there, and they're finding some holes.
Well, they're running straight ahead and have done so extremely well. 3 out of the last 4 times they've run that kind of a play, they made sizable gains going straight at the linebackers.
1st down, Cincinnati on the Tampa Bay 31. And they're running against the best defense in the league last year. Isaac Curtis is out. Don Bass is in as a wide receiver. First down. Alexander. No gain on the 30-yard line. Let's give him a yard. Second down, 9. Randy Crowder there to stop him. The nose tackle. The three-man front of Tampa Bay. Second down, 9 for Cincinnati in the last minute and 40 seconds of the third quarter. Tampa Bay ahead in a strange one, 10-5.
Well, both teams are giving grudgingly on defense, and especially now with the weather like it is, it's going to be very difficult to move the ball consistently well unless you do it straight ahead.
Notice how gingerly they run and how they very carefully hand the ball off in the rain. Jack Thompson, Archie Griffin running to the 25-yard line of Tampa Bay.
One thing in this kind of weather, the quarterback does not have to worry about carrying out his fake. He wants to make sure that he gets the ball to the right back and then follows that back, so in case he fumbles, he can help him with the recovery on the play.
That is a field. Well, it's an artificial field, or it'll be mud. It's on the 25-yard line. Archie Griffin has had a tremendous third period. He now has 51 yards.
And they're still running from their double tight end set.
He's had 41 yards in this quarter alone. Griffin driving, and they have the first down. Archie Griffin slides out of bounds. He has gained about 50 yards in this third quarter.
And I'm surprised they would make it with that kind of a play. He lined up in his left halfback position, had to run all the way across the ball, but did so in good shape and picked up the necessary yardage.
Cincinnati on the Tampa Bay 20 with a first down. And they're doing it on the ground with Griffin and Alexander. That young offensive line, both teams have very young offensive lines. The oldest man for Cincinnati is Glenn Bushnach, the left guard. He's 26 years old.
Something left if they run.
There goes Alexander. He's to the 17-yard line. Charles Alexander, the second-year running back from LSU. Second down, 7. Cincinnati on the Tampa Bay 17. 18 seconds to go. Now down to 15 seconds in the third period. The big dark cloud is moving away. The rain may stop here in 5 or 10 minutes, but the field has already been damaged here with almost a torrential hurricane here. That's the end of the third quarter with a score. Tampa Bay 10 and Cincinnati 5. We now pause for a word from your local station. Hank, I'm going to ask you about Archie Griffin. He had a great third quarter. What do you have? 46 yards in that quarter alone. How about some Perrier water? Perrier and a cup of coffee. Curt, Gowdy, and Hank Stram into the fourth period. Well, Hank, it looks at if Archie Griffin ever had a 1,000-yard season, they ought to play every game in the rain. He had 46 yards on 7 carries in a rainstorm in the third period.
Yeah, he runs with a good steady, good base, and he's a very decisive runner. He doesn't dance around. He makes a move right or wrong. He's very decisive, and this is what he's done so far in his third quarter.
Second down, 6. The rain is ceasing now. They're on the 16-yard line. Here goes Griffin again. He burrows his way to the 13-yard line of Tampa Bay. And they'll have a 3rd and 3 coming up. Tampa Bay in the lead, 10-5. And a freak rain downpour, gusting 25, 30 mile-an-hour wind.
I mentioned earlier in the third quarter that Tampa was getting off the ball so well and licking the offensive line at the point of attack. The reverse is true now. The Cincinnati team is getting off the ball and licking the defense at the point of attack, and that's why they're making yardage.
Third down and 3 for the Bengals on the Tampa Bay 13-yard line. They give it to the hot man, Griffin. Griffin runs to the 10. They have a first down to just over the 10-yard line. Archie Griffin. Archie's never made 1,000 yards. He's been a back that improved in pass receiving. 600 and some yards. Last year, 88's been his best. But he's run well here in this third quarter. He's not been the big man like Franco Harris, Otis Anderson, players like that.
Well, they're having great success running straight ahead. See if they continue that personality from here on in.
First and goal to go just inside the 10-yard line for Cincinnati, trailing 10-5 early in the fourth period. Thompson. There goes Alexander to the 7, the quick hitter.
Straight ahead.
Little flare-up down there in the field between 74 Bujnak and one of the Tampa Bay secondary men. Cardinals have come back. The third quarter came at us, 31-28 Giants. All right, we're spotting the ball now, the officials on the 6.5. Second down, 6.5 for a Cincinnati touchdown. Make it the 6-yard line. 10-5, Tampa Bay leading. Steady drive downfield, short spurts. Griffin to the 5, Griffin to 4, maybe to 3.5. He's getting a quick start on this slippery field in the rain.
Well, that's the best way to go on this kind of turf, straight ahead. They're getting off the ball in good shape, as I mentioned earlier, and they're getting movement, and all you need for a back like Archie Griffin is a little bit of movement, little seam, little cavity, and he's going to get yardage.
Archie Griffin now has 63 yards, 52 of them in the second half. Third and 3 for a Bengal touchdown. Third and 3. Roll out. Thompson throws. Touchdown. To the tight end, Dan Ross. Cincinnati scored as they win. 47 yards for the touchdown. But Griffin was the man leading the way, Archie Griffin.
Play action pass, had them all fooled. Lewis was blitzing on the play, throws over the top to number 89, Dan Ross, the tight end, and he's open on the play. There you see it again, but he's wide open on the play, and Cincinnati scores.
So it is now 11-10. Deion Sunter. The hold will be by Levenseller. 12 minutes to play in this game. 12:05 to be exact. The rain has stopped. Now we see some blue clouds. The kick is up and it's good. And the drive punched mostly by former Heisman Trophy winner Archie Griffin. Sends Cincinnati out in front of Tampa Bay, 12-10.
Yes, I'm here. I'm on the field. Yes, he's on the field too. Can you hear me?
will kick off. The rain has stopped. Some blue clouds now to our left. After one of the heaviest downpours you ever want to see for 10 or 15 minutes. Isaac Higgins is the deep man for Tampa Bay. And the wind now has died down completely. Oh, the electrical thunderstorm is over. And here's the kick. The line drive to the 14-yard line of Tampa Bay. Back with the ball comes Rick Burns. Burns piles over the 30 and is driven out of bounds on his 33-yard line. First down for Tampa Bay. There's that last drive, 45 yards, 10 plays. They had the ball over 5 minutes. Most of the yardage picked up by Archie Griffin. San Francisco now 23, New Orleans 13 in the fourth period. Very young team. The 49ers vastly improved. We'll be there next week with Hank, the Cardinals, and the 49ers in the Bay Area.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have to generate some kind of a running attack. They haven't done much of that at all. See if they line up in their... No, they don't. I thought they might line up in double tight, but they're not. Slot left.
Eckwood and Ricky Bell behind Doug Williams. Whistle blown. I think Doug Williams asked about the ball. Wipe it off. Which he has the option to do so. Now Steve Wilson of Georgia, fifth-year player, goes over the ball. Sanders, the left guard, in his second year, switching over from defense. Roberts is in his second year, the right guard. Williams will throw on first down. Comes out of the pocket, gets to the 25. Slips and goes down in a puddle. They'll spot him down on the 40-yard line.
This is good judgment on the part of Doug Williams, really. If he's not sure, he goes back in the pocket. Doesn't see anybody open, sees the room up front, takes advantage of it. He's got to carry that ball a lot tighter and a lot better. Somebody's going to pop it loose. But he made a sizable gain on the play.
And Doug made 8 yards to his 41, second and 2. Archie Manning to Wes Chandler for 49 yards. 23-20, 49ers over New Orleans. Eckwood on the sweep, trying to get outside. He has the first down to his own 45-yard line. Tampa Bay first down on their 45. Cameron and Rosano on the tackle. Boy, look at this. New England pouring it on the Browns, 34-3. They're all squawking in New England about the inept showing of the team in preseason.
Yes.
They're without 4 of their players who are holdouts. Mike Haynes, an all-pro, Sam Cunningham, Richard Bishop, and they're really giving it to the Browns.
That time Eckwood had a chance to be a little bit more decisive and break off a little sooner than he did, but he still made the first down.
Whistle on the field. And that timeout, I believe, is called on Cincinnati. They had too many players on the field. So they took a timeout. They have...
It's a good defense if you can get away with it.
12-10 Cincinnati. Hello, Truck. Can we check how many official timeouts Cincinnati has left? We have 1 left for them. Can we check that to be sure? How can you check it? With whom? Bucks have 1. I mean, they've taken 1 timeout, you mean? I'm asking how many's left. You said they have 1 left. Well, give me a game. Tampa Bay's on their 45-yard line with a first down, trailing 12-10. Cincinnati just scored in a 45-yard drive. Doug Williams to Eckwood. Eckwood is hit hard there as he's trying to slide off the left side. More scores. Markowski to Jackson. It's Minnesota 20, Atlanta 20. Has come back to tie it up. Well, they got 21 here. Let's get the score correct. 20-20 or 21-20?
I think it's 21-20.
Second down 8. 47-yard line of Tampa Bay. There's the toss. He hits him. First down. He shook away from a rusher and then threw the ball to Jerry Eckwood for a first down in Cincinnati territory.
Doug Williams really did a good job of staying in the pocket that time. He had some pressure. Trying to find a place to throw the ball. Danko 52 is blitzing on the play. Goes right beyond him. Should have had the sack. But Doug stays right in that pocket in great shape. Browner's coming from the inside. Throws the ball over the top. And a big play. First down to Eckwood for the first down.
9 minutes to go in this game. 12-10. Cincinnati ahead. Ricky Bell off his left guard to the 38-yard line of Cincinnati, where Glenn Cameron, the inside linebacker, and rookie Rick Pisano made the stop.
All right, look at there, 24-17 now. Pittsburgh ahead in the fourth quarter.
And Bradshaw scored, Hank, on a 1-yard run. Pittsburgh had a 17-0 lead at halftime. Houston rallied, and now there's 12:50 to play in that game. Pittsburgh ahead by 7. Second down 7 for Tampa Bay on the Bengal 38. Williams looks the field over. Now takes off. And he's to the 30-yard line. He's hit there by Greg Bright, the safety man. He's been very effective running today.
Here again, he drops back into the pocket, then rolls to the left. That was by design, not by accident. Rolls to the left with the express purpose of hitting the receiver one-on-one, but he was covered, decided to take off and run, and he slides in for the first down.
He's the leading ball carrier today for the Buccaneers. He has 35 yards on 6 carries.
A quarterback who can move, adds a big dimension, and keeps drives alive, and that's exactly what he's done.
Ricky Bell has only 12 yards and 8 carries. Eckwood has 33 yards. They have a first down in the Cincinnati 30. That's Eckwood. A yard or 2, and that's it for him. 7.5 minutes to go. Rosano and Ross Browner, the defensive end. This is the Cincinnati club that was last in total defense last year. 16th against the run, 27th against the pass, and gave up the most points a game, 26. But they've been rugged today.
They certainly have been. And they've got Abradovich and a double tight end, double flanker offense in here at this time.
Second down 8 for Tampa Bay. Cincinnati 28.
Tight end, tight end, tight end.
Giles has the ball. Giles goes down for a first down on the 12-yard line. Jimmy Giles. Ray Griffin brought him down in the secondary. First down Tampa Bay now, threatening to score.
Doug Williams has really shown a lot of poise, great leadership qualities, and demonstrated his ability in this drive by taking off and running when he had to, and of course delivering the big pass in that key situation.
He now has 10 completions today and 19 attempts for 140 yards. Got off to a slow start, but has picked up since the first period. First down Tampa Bay. Inside the 15. The pitch to Eckwood. Eckwood runs into one of his own blockers, floating down, and then number 52, Tom Dinkle, tackled him. As the new coach, Horace Gregg's playing young linebackers, reserve linebackers in the fourth period.
And here again, they're doing a terrific job of containing student body right and left They haven't succeeded in making any yardage on the play at all, and that's their bread and butter play, the play they like to use an awful lot.
And Hank, they now have a 2nd and 12, Tampa Bay. They're on the 15-yard line. A field goal could put them in the lead. Cincinnati ahead 12-10. 5:19 to go. Williams looks him over. Threw the ball high, nearly intercepted by Ray Griffin. And Cincinnati needed an interception. Ball was thrown high to Ricky Bell. Deflected away, and Ray Griffin, number 44, nearly had it. It'll be 3rd and 12.
And Kevin House, he goes back from a double wing formation that time and throws the ball poorly because he's throwing it falling away. He's really not anchored and set well. And for that reason, he threw it over the top. And Kevin House looked like he was open in the end zone on the play.
Well, the brother act there in the second half. Archie Griffin's had a big second half running the ball, being the spearhead of the scoring drive. And Ray Griffin really coming up with that play, his baby brother. 3rd and 12, Tampa Bay on the Cincinnati 15-yard line. The handoff to Eckwood. Eckwood goes to the 5 on a quick breaker. Gary Eckwood, the quick breaker inside. Dinkle and Greg Bright team up to take him there. And they look over here to the yardsticks.
Yeah, they've got to kick the field goal.
They bring the most efficient place kicker of all time in the NFL on. 68% good on his field goal. And Garo Yepremian, ex of the Florida team, the other Florida team, the Miami Dolphins, now kicking for Tampa Bay, can put his team in the lead. This will be a 22-yard attempt. He has a dry spot there where it's going to be held by Blanchard. And here's it's dropped. He boots it. It's blocked. They messed it up. They had a short one and messed it up. The ball was bobbled by Blanchard. He couldn't get a clean hold on it, and they failed to get the field goal.
It looked like it went right through. It looked like he slipped, tried to get it down. Garo lost his rhythm and tried to get it off, but it was blocked.
A big break for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they'll take over on their 14-yard line when we return. Never got a hold of the ball, did he? Can't see it there. How many cameras you got today? 3? 4? You out of camera? Well, they had a 22-yard field goal right in front of those goal posts. It looked like a dry spot in the field, but the ball might have been slippery. Blanchard couldn't handle it cleanly. Finally got it set down. It broke the rhythm of Garo Yepremian, and they failed on the field goal. And Cincinnati takes over with 4:20 to play. Speaking of field goals, Erxelbaum just kicked one for New Orleans to tie the 49ers at 23-all. 9:30 to go. 23-23 to 49ers and New Orleans. Buffalo ahead of Miami 10-7 in the 4th period. Flag goes down. Archie Griffin tackled along the line of scrimmage. But they dropped the flag. Now the sun is out. That's offside against Tampa Bay. They'll have a 1st and 5. How this weather changed in the 3rd period. A torrential downpour and gusty winds of 30 miles an hour. Now we're back to brilliant sunshine.
And thank goodness for synthetic turf, or else this would really be a bad game.
71 defense.
It would be a mud bowl out there in the 4th period without artificial surface. 1st and 5. Cincinnati on their 18-yard line. with one purpose: hang on to that ball and try and kill the clock. Cincinnati ahead, 12-10. They go out to the 20 with it, and Archie Griffith squirming along, running low to the ground the way the back that Hank Stram used to have, Mike Garrett.
Yeah, he was something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He looked like he ran underground.
The defense could never see him. He was always running so low behind his offensive blocker.
Yeah, we had Warren McVay, who was also about the same size and also played right here at Cincinnati.
Second down, 3 to go. The Bengals on their 20-yard line. The clock is moving, 3:40 to play. Very carefully, the ball down to Griffin. Griffin is pounded down on the 22-yard line. Sims has thrown his 4th touchdown pass of the game. And it's 38-28 the Giants, and Ernie Gray has caught his 3rd pass. 38-28. Look at the difference in the sky now instead of that dark beast that we showed you earlier at the start of the second half. Third down and a long yard to go for the Bengals.
Looks like something to the left.
Tampa Bay holds them. That stops Griffin short of a first down on the 21-yard line. Cincinnati now will have to line up in a punt formation. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to play. They're taking all the time. McAnally will go back. He'll be punting in perhaps with a slippery ball, but in a bright sunshine instead of Blanchard kicking in a downpour, trying to kick at a downpour, who took the automatic safety. That's the difference in the game right now, that automatic safety.
And really, under the circumstances, it was really the only thing he could do.
Uh-oh. He's in trouble. He's trying to run it out of there. He fumbles the ball away. Tampa Bay goes for it. He'll have the ball deep in Cincinnati territory. There's the break that Tampa Bay was looking for. McAnally fumbled the snap. He'll fumble it again. And Tampa Bay takes over. They're going to spot the ball on the 5-yard line of Cincinnati.
And it was a good snap. He just fumbled it, Curt. That's all there was to it. It looked like it was between the belt and the thigh. And then he tried to run with it, fumble it again. It didn't make any difference because Tampa has possession on the 5.
And the 2-minute warning given to each bench. So Tampa Bay with a big chance. They're behind 12-10. Here's the replay again. The snap, as Hank Stram said, perfect. McAnally just couldn't hang on to it. I think they wiped the ball off for him, too, before they snapped.
Yes, he evidently took his eye off the ball or something, but he just mishandled the punt. Now he's running to his right, and the ball is very loose. The tackler hits it, I think, touches it from behind, knocks it out of his arm, and it is finally recovered, but it doesn't really make any difference because Tampa has possession on the 5, 1st and 5.
Cecil Johnson was the man hanging on him. Tampa Bay blew a field goal attempt, a 22-yarder. Look at Water still on that artificial surface from that downpour in the third quarter. But they blew it. And there's the conference of the officials. The timeouts left. 1 left for Tampa Bay, 2 left for the Bengals. The Bengals had gone ahead on a 45-yard scoring drive, spearheaded by Archie Griffin, and a surprise rollout pass from Thompson to the tight end. Then Tampa Bay came back to threaten and failed, and now Tampa Bay has a glorious opportunity here. First and goal to go on the Cincinnati 5-yard line. Doug Williams, Ekman and Ricky Bell. Ekman has the ball. Running wide, he's hit by Ray Griffin. The flag is down. Ray Griffin hits him for a loss. The Griffin boy today, and that's holding against Tampa Bay.
And it looked like he had a chance to run inside on the play and decided to go outside, Curt. We'll try to run to a close wing-back set. The guard is pulling.
Let me ask you now, there's holding. What do you do? Do you take this 10-yard penalty, or the loss would make it 2nd and 8 to go for a touchdown?
No, you've got to take him back, Curt. Yeah, I would think that you'd have to take him back and assess the 10-yard penalty. I don't think you let him stay in there that close.
Little Bradshaw's come through again. A 50-yard pass to Stallworth. Pittsburgh 31, Houston 17.
42.
That holding is on Ricky Bell. Pittsburgh hasn't lost a game. I think they win today, it'll be their 17th in a row on their home field. That's 96 yards and penalties, 10 penalties against Tampa Bay. We'll put the ball back on the Cincinnati 15 and make it 1st and 15 to go for a touchdown. The time all important you see in the upper right-hand corner.
You really have to give Cincinnati a lot of credit. They've done a terrific job defensively.
Cribbs, the rookie, just run 2 yards for a score, and Buffalo leads Miami 17-7. Cribbs has looked very good in preseason. There's Williams on 1st down. Shoots it in. Giles, touchdown. Jimmy Giles scores. Doug Williams throws it. 2nd touchdown pass of the game to Giles, and Tampa Bay takes the lead.
Boy, what a beautiful shot.
To cover.
And I'm going to tell you something, Doug Williams with that wet ball, whistle it right in there perfectly to the tight end, Jimmy Giles. They spread the defense nicely that time. Pop it right to Giles, and he goes in for the touchdown.
He
Another
scores
good shot.
47.
They had them all spread out, and they wanted to get the balls to Giles, and they did exactly that.
Now it's 16-12. There's the snap to Blanchard. The point by Yepremian is good. And Tampa Bay has the lead, 17-12. Well, let's see what Cincinnati can do in the last minute 47 when we come back. Just in touchdown passes for Sims. A minute and 47 seconds remaining. Tampa Bay has the lead, 17-12. Deacon Turner is deep for Cincinnati. The crowd has quieted down now. Here's a kick coming to Turner. Takes it on the 5, up with it again, 10, the 15 to the 20. Comes up the middle, still fighting his way, emerges out of there, goes over the 35. Comes out to his 36-yard line, where Cincinnati will put the ball in play with only 1 timeout left. 2 timeouts left they have. Wershing has just kicked the field goal for the 49ers, 3:46 to go. They lead New Orleans 26-23. Good run here by Deacon Turner.
Yes, he did. He stuck it up there. Ran into a pile, bounces off. Some poor tackling there on the part of the Tampa team.
Let's see what Jack Thompson does now. He gets it out to Griffin. Griffin upended, goes out of bounds on the 40-yard line, picking up 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. They stopped the clock with 1:32 to go. Cincinnati lost their first 8 games, as we said, in '78. Their first 6 last year. They had the lead here in the last 2 minutes, and now they're behind. There's that Tampa Bay drive. 2nd down, 6 for the Bengals. 1:32 to play. Thompson, plenty of time. Pass is incomplete to number 84, Don Bass, the wide receiver, who started his career as a tight end player.
Munoz did a good job that time on Leroy Selman. He blocked him and maintained possession, contact, and drove him right beyond the quarterback, which enabled Thompson to step up into the pocket and make the throw.
Sipe to right, 11-yard pass. 34-17 now, New England over Cleveland. 4 minutes to play in that game. 1:26 remaining here. 3rd and 6.
They got to try to hit the back here or a tight end.
Alexander has the ball. Alexander trying to run for that first down markers, out of bounds short of it at the 44 of Cincinnati, but he stopped the clock.
The way the defense is playing, they're giving them that short pass to the backs and possibly to the tight end, and feel that they have to travel very slowly and will never make it downfield with that kind of an attack.
4th down and 2. They bring on M.L. Harris to tight end. Look at that one, 6-6. They're going into overtime. Green Bay and Chicago. Wild score.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what the weather's like in Green Bay. It must be snowing.
1:20 to play. 4th and 2. They need the first down. The pass. They have it. Isaac Curtis will quickly line up, the clock moving on him. They're on the 40-yard line. And now they step in and call a timeout.
You got to get more pressure on the quarterback, the Tampa Bay, that is. If they expect to stop this drive, they haven't had much pressure on them in the last 2 plays.
1 minute and 4 seconds to go. 1 timeout left for each team. Green Bay, we just, Duke Struck, our director, finds out it's overcast but pleasant. No snow, no rain, no scoring. Here's the final. Buffalo beat Miami 17-7. I think that stops a long string of Miami wins over Buffalo, and Buffalo finally ended its drought against the Dolphins. They've been very quietly building a pretty good ball club there, those Buffalo Bills.
Yes,
Chuck Knox.
yeah, Chuck has done an outstanding job, and he's been very patient, knows what he wants to get done. They've given him the opportunity to do just that, and he's really done a super job.
Well, we're trying to check officially. I believe the Bengals are out of timeouts. John McKay trying to sweat this one out. He'll sweat it out with that jacket on, because it's hot and muggy again. And when we resume play, Cincinnati will have the ball on the Tampa Bay 40-yard line. 1:04 to go, and Tampa Bay ahead 17-12. Doug Williams has played an excellent game today for Tampa Bay.
He's really been the difference, along with the great defensive play of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And of course, you have to give both teams a great deal of credit defensively. They've really done a terrific job, and you have to especially compliment the Cincinnati team, because they have been very unimpressive defensively in the past, and they've played extremely well here today.
They're trying to discuss the timeouts left, the officials, the benches. Williams 11 out of 21 today, 155 yards, 2 touchdown passes to his tight end, Jim Giles. The last one, 15-yarder, he zipped into the end zone, is the one that put Tampa Bay on top.
But the big thing really is the way he has run in critical situations, crucial situations, to keep the drives alive.
That's right. He picked up 36 yards on the ground today. All right, Jack Thompson fading now. Over the middle he goes with the ball. Fumble! Tampa Bay is on it. Everybody trying to scramble for it. The got it.
I think they call it an incompleted forward pass.
Did he have possession of the ball? It may just be an incomplete pass. It may be they had possession and a fumble. They'll have to discuss this one. They stopped the clock with 57 seconds. There it is to Alexander. Now the ball squirts loose. And they have called it an incomplete forward pass. The player has to have the ball long enough to do the acts common to a game, possession or control. Pete Johnson has replaced Alexander. Second down 10, Cincinnati on the Tampa Bay 40. 57 seconds left to play. Johnson back under a big rush. Throws it. Batted away. A great save there by number 33, Mark Cotney, against the tight end M.L. Harris.
And
Cotney just timed it perfectly.
beautiful play by Cotney, but another thing, Munoz, number 78, really did a super job on Leroy Selman again.
Munoz, the big 278-pound rookie, has had 4 operations on his knees, and yet the Bengals made him the 3rd player taken in the draft. That's how great he is. A player, 4 years at USC, played in only 1 Rose Bowl game his senior year, 4 operations, and they still paid him their #1 draft pick. He's that great.
Pretty strong.
They got all the wide receivers spread across. 3rd and 10.
3-man rush again.
Thompson out is dropped by the fullback going out there. Pete Johnson. Now it's 4th down. The last chance for Cincinnati with 46 seconds to play. Executive producer Charles Milton III. Marvin Muse, our producer. Duke Struck, our director. He was struck by lightning in the 3rd quarter. The lightning really came down. Mike Albanese, our associate producer. Stan Mitchell, the field operations engineer. 4th down, Cincinnati's last chance. 10 yards to go. Trailing in this game, 17-12, with 46 seconds to play.
Now how about Duke winning that Emmy Award? Isn't that great?
Yes, sir. Illegal delay of the game. Last chance where the Bengals come up. 4th and 15. There's a final. New England down the Browns, 34-17. Browns won a lot of close ones last year.
Talking about Emmys, you won one last year too, didn't we? 2 years ago, Curt?
Well, last year. Thanks for mentioning it. Here is Thompson down, but he hasn't been touched yet, so he get up. Flags are down. He throws right into the arms of a Tampa Bay player. It's an interception at the 25, and that should do it. Flags went down on the ball. Was David Lewis, the outside linebacker, to intercept on the Tampa Bay 25. Jack Thompson slipped back there, got up, and threw the interception. It's holding against Cincinnati. It'll be declined by Tampa Bay, and all they have to do now is fall on the ball a couple of times, and they've won their opener. No team has ever gone to a Super Bowl game that lost its opening game of the season.
Is that true?
That's right. It's an oddity, but
yeah,
no team that wound up in a Super Bowl ever lost its opening game.
Well, you have to give both teams a lot of credit for the way they play defensively today.